It's Thursday, May 14th. Today, rising from the ashes, how people in Lac du Bonnet are rebuilding their homes and their lives 1 year after a devastating wildfire tore through the area. Also today, a rapid rise. Why Thompson is suddenly dealing with a torrent of water. Plus, an appeal to work together. The message from Manitoba First Nation leaders following a court ruling on the CFS system. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Thursday. Catherine Dow is joining us for Terry Apostle this morning. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning,
Welcome.
Rochelle.
Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Ainsley McPhail is going to tell us about the Manitoba Motorcycle Ride for Dad. It's a really great fundraiser for prostate issues for men as well as other health issues for men. So we're going to talk about that throughout the morning, as well as tell you some personal stories where men are either battling it or have won their battle. So we're going to find out more about that. But the weather, it's going to be a mixed bag of all kinds of nastiness today.
Yes, you know what? We can look to the west of us and feel a little bit better about what we're getting, because we're seeing some scary pictures of snowfall in areas in Alberta. Not the case for us, but nonetheless, we have a good amount of instability heading our way. It's looking lovely out there to start us off. 13 degrees, pretty overcast. Winds are strong and will be ramping up majorly. Details of that in a moment, but right now they're out of the south-southeast at 31 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 42%. So yes, you can see the incoming danger. Danger is the wrong word. The instability, that's a better one. Pushing in there from the west, bringing a good chance of some rainfall and thunderstorm activity to southern Manitoba today. The good news is we have some very warm temperatures ahead. I know many of us have been feeling like, did spring ever come? Well, today it's going to be feeling like that. However, you do want to be have the umbrella handy. Meanwhile, to the north, you too dealing with some inclement weather, to the effect that there is a winter storm warning and freezing rain warning in effect in areas in the north. So it'll likely show up as freezing rain for you, a band of freezing rain pushing into northern Manitoba and moving into the southeast. And then depending on where you're at, it'll change into snowfall overnight. However, it could be about 10 to 15 millimeters worth of rainfall in the Thompson area today and tonight. For us here in Winnipeg, this is the system we're tracking with that thunderstorm activity as it swirls there into Saskatchewan and then eventually moves over. You can see some blue wrapped in representing snow in the north, as mentioned. That risk likely tapering off later on into the afternoon. Still a slight chance of some rainfall overnight. Temperatures, though, very warm at 24 degrees. I want to mention very strong southerly winds as well. And into tomorrow, we clear off. Light chance of showers continuing, but a nice warm high of 21 degrees.
Thank you, Catherine. A grim anniversary was marked Wednesday in Manitoba. It was 1 year ago that wildfire swept through the Lac du Bonnet area, claiming the lives of a couple who attempted to escape. But as CTV's Joseph Bernanke shows you, people in the area are picking up the pieces and rebuilding.
House is up and deck to go yet, and then we have the shed that is up, but it still needs to be relocated to the back there.
For the first time in over a year, Lavina Harding, a permanent resident on Wendigo Road, can breathe easy once again. 1 year ago to this day, her whole world went up in flames as she lost her house alongside her neighbors. On April 18th, she finally returned to a rebuilt home.
I see new hope, and I think that the rest of the way will be a little bit easier than what I did go through in this past year.
A lot has changed in a short period of time for her. When we last spoke with her in late August, only a foundation was built where she sits today. A dozen contractors and her strong will drove her to rebuild.
Every morning I would make a to-do list. I would go through that to-do list. I would realize, you know what, I need a place to live, so I'm going to go at it hard.
Harding isn't the only person returning to Wendigo Road. Shane Robinson and his family have joined several neighbors determined to start anew.
So we're going to rebuild. We're just waiting for the road restrictions to finish up here. And once the road restrictions are up, we've got the guy coming to do the foundation and then start building. He's going to be rebuilding the cottage.
Lauren Schinkel, reeve for the RM of Lac du Bonnet, says it is surreal thinking back to the fires from 1 year ago. Given the momentum in rebuilding, he says he's encouraged by all the activity.
You see several homes that have come up here since we last spoke out here. Today is a vastly different day than it was a year ago.
While some people can rebuild, the community is forever changed. The province named this bridge in honor of Susan and Richard Noel, who died in the fires. Schinkel says the RM is better prepared this year should the community face another threat.
We were the only ones that had that loss of life, and that certainly heightens how you need to be prepared, how you need to have a good plan in place.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The RM of Lac du Bonnet says its firefighters have now undergone extensive wildland firefighting training, and the town and the RM have also completed a wildfire risk assessment to see what can be done to reduce risk. Staff and students at Shamrock School in Winnipeg are getting an unexpected and extended long weekend. The school will be shut down today and Friday. According to a post on the Louis School Division website, the school experienced an electrical issue Wednesday afternoon. The school's main power panel sustained extensive damage, and the transformer supplying power to the school was also affected. Now that's left the school without power, and officials don't expect electricity to be restored until Tuesday. As a result, classes have been canceled, and daycares won't be operating either until Tuesday. The Post says daycare operators have been informed about the closure. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says the province will appeal a judge's decision to throw out a petition to separate from Canada.
We think that this decision is incorrect in law and anti-democratic, and we will be appealing it as a result.
The judge ruled the separation petition and the signatures collected are not valid and should not have been approved by Alberta's chief electoral officer in the first place. That's because organizers started the petition process before consulting with First Nations, which hold treaty rights. Lawyers for several First Nations had argued the separatist referendum process is unconstitutional.
The Alberta government cannot move forward with any kind of process that would see Alberta separate from Canada without first sitting down with the treaty parties and hearing what they have to say.
The Alberta government and Stay Free Alberta, the group behind the petition, are both expected to appeal. One of its lawyers added Premier Smith can simply call a referendum on separation. Parts of Thompson are underwater as the city's drain system struggles to keep up with a rapid spring melt. Public Works crews in Thompson are working extra hours trying to clear catch basins, flush storm drainage lines, and remove crates to help get the water moving. Drivers are warned to use caution around flooded areas such as Cree Road between Deerwood Drive and Juniper Drive. Pedestrians and cyclists are also advised to be wary of puddles as the depth may catch you off guard. Students in St. James had the need for speed yesterday. It was the second annual Top Gun Day at Sturgeon Heights. And as CTV's photojournalist Glenn Pismeni found out, it's an opportunity for students to find their wings.
They're having so much fun learning that they don't even realize it.
If you turn your yoke all the way to the left, then you'll roll in a circle. It's called a yoke.
Seeing that they have an interest in aviation really makes me happy, knowing that I had an interest just like them. And just being that person for them just really makes me happy, helps me learn from them, and they get to learn from me as well, so I'm very happy.
When I first started out, it was just amazing just being in this room and to be able to pass it on, and the interest in the aviation industry onto the youth is really nice.
High pressure to low pressure.
I'm very proud of my my aviation students. They took on leadership skills. I could tell they really enjoyed themselves and shared their knowledge with the younger students.
The air cools down and condenses.
When I came in, I was in the intro class, one of the 8 classes at the school, and from then on, I just been in the program every year, and I just have fun ever since.
This program's great. Aviation's great. We have a great teacher, and it's always nice getting to know new people every year and being with the same classmates throughout the 4 years.
How's it going over here?
Win-win for both grade 6ers plus my students. I'm a big advocate for mentoring, giving back, and that's what today was all about. My students giving back, mentoring, and sharing their passion.
Here's what's happening right now at Confusion Corner. It's a good start so far this Thursday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, please send us a text to let us know. Keep the kids creative with this Your Morning Winnipeg contest. Crockadoodle Keniston is holding some kids' summer art classes, and the activities include painting ice cream gnomes, turtles, watermelons, and tropical geckos. This week, we're giving away one prize pack with a selection of 4 classes from June 23rd to July the 7th. There will be pizza for lunch, games, and a lot of fun. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword paint. Good luck. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about the Motorcycle Ride for Dad. It's an important fundraiser. It's also a day of fun. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. Yes, on May 30th, 10 a.m., big kickoff for prostate cancer. Now, $255,000 has been raised this year so far, ahead of last year. And the goal, they're in their 18th year right now, is to hit $1 million by year 20. And I think, Manitoba, if we can get those numbers climbing throughout the show, and until then, we are going to hit that milestone. Throughout the morning, we're going to be chatting with a celebrity rider coming up at 6:42. We're going to be chatting with a prostate cancer researcher, because of course you want to know where those dollars are going in order to support men locally in our community. And also we're going to be chatting with a celebrity, Adam Bighill, who a recent retiree from the Canadian Football League, who has been endorsing this for a while too.
Okay, well, thank you, Ainsley, for that. Let's go out to the rooftop now with our Catherine Dow. How's the day starting to feel?
You know, a little bit gusty out here, Rochelle, to the point that there's actually a new wind warning to tell you about, in effect in areas of the southwest, like Brandon, Neepawa, Dauphin. For us here, although we're technically not weather warned yet, it's going to be a breezy day. It's currently 14 degrees, pretty overcast. Speaking of the winds, they're out of the southeast this hour at 38 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling, humidity sits at 40%. We got a little bit of everything coming our way today, a smorgasbord or a grab bag of weather conditions. So let's start with the other warnings in effect. Freezing rain for areas in and around Thompson, winter storm for areas in and around Churchill, as freezing rain moves in today, turning to snowfall either later this afternoon or overnight. Winds there very strong out of the southeast, upwards of 50 kilometers per hour. For us in the south, this same system going to be likely affecting us as rainfall with maybe some instability kicking in there. 60% chance of showers for southern Manitoba with thunderstorm risk as well. That's hitting us later this morning, early afternoon. And those winds prompting that warning out of the south could be getting up to 50, gusting to 70 kilometers per hour. So add the extra hairspray. Hang on to your hats because it's going to be a breezy one. Let's take a break. So much more Your Morning Winnipeg still to come. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
Good morning. Families and community members are hitting the streets to raise awareness of the violence, loss, and systemic injustices experienced by Indigenous boys and men.
Like, I would like to find my boy, bring him home.
Kelly Lavallee joined other families for the second annual Walk to Honor Missing and Murdered Indigenous Men and Boys. Her son Dwayne disappeared from Ebb and Flow First Nation. Organizers say the goal of the walk is to highlight the disproportionate rates of violence, incarceration, and disappearance they say are too often silenced or overlooked.
So today is about healing, love, justice, and for all of us to come together to speak and to honor our loved ones today.
The walk left the Canadian Museum for Human Rights before making its way to the Manitoba Legislature, where 7 families shared their stories with the crowd. 94 people were murdered in Manitoba in 2024. 50 of them were Indigenous men or boys. If you feel like you can't trust what you're scrolling through lately, you're certainly not alone. A new study from Stats Canada shows 6 in 10 Canadians are now very or extremely concerned about misinformation spread online, with many Canadians struggling to separate fact from fiction. Here's CTV's Heather Wright.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real.
The line between what's real and what's fake is getting blurrier. According to a new survey, 80% of Canadians saw news or information online they suspected to be misleading or false at least once a month. And nearly half of Canadians say they are finding it harder to distinguish between fact and fiction.
What I think is more worrying is not the misinformation people see online that they recognize as misinformation. It's the misinformation they see online and actually believe.
Angus Lockhart is a policy analyst at the DAIS, a think tank at Toronto Metropolitan University. He says while the spread of mis and disinformation has been increasing for years, AI is making it easier to create fake or misleading content, specifically deep fake videos.
We're seeing very quick rises in the number of deepfakes that are posted and shared online. And that's one of the scariest ones because that technology is only getting better and only making it harder to judge what's real and what's fake online.
The misinformation survey also found more than 60% of Canadians are very or extremely concerned about online misinformation. But experts say not enough is being done by the government or by big tech.
Unfortunately, there is a lack of scrutiny on these big tech companies.
Ahmed Al-Rawi is a communications professor at Simon Fraser University and says social media companies have shown an inability to police the content that's on their platforms. And more onus needs to be put on the government to enact stricter rules.
The only language they understand is the language of financial penalties. So once you send warnings regarding these penalties, I think they will start listening.
Experts say it is vital to fact-check information found online, especially on social media, though they acknowledge that is something that's getting harder to do.
Taiwan appears to be dominating the conversation in China, with Chinese President Xi Jinping telling U.S. President Donald Trump their entire relationship is on the line.
Honored to be with you. It's an honor to be your friend, and the relationship between China and the USA is going to be better than ever before.
After rolling out the red carpet to welcome Trump, the two leaders sat down for a nearly 2-hour meeting. On the agenda, trade, Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, technology, and Taiwan, which is a self-governed island that Beijing claims as its own territory. Xi told Trump that if Taiwan is handled well, U.S.-China relations, quote, will enjoy overall stability. If not, the two countries risk, quote, clashes and even conflicts, putting the entire relationship in great jeopardy. This comes after Trump authorized an $11 billion arms package for Taiwan in December.
It's great. Did you talk about Taiwan? Great place. Incredible. China's beautiful.
U.S. President Trump also visited the Temple of Heaven, a sacred place in ancient Chinese history. It symbolizes the connection between heaven and earth. Trump is only the second sitting U.S. president to visit the temple. He's expected to leave China tomorrow after a final private meeting with the Chinese president. First Nations leaders in Manitoba are urging the federal and provincial governments to help find a solution to the child welfare crisis instead of appealing a court decision. Monday, Chief Justice Glenn Joyal handed down his decision on the class action challenge launched by 4 First Nations and the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs. AMC says it finds both levels of government breached the right of First Nations self-governance of child welfare, which contributed to the overrepresentation of First Nations children in care. The federal and provincial governments have 30 days to appeal the decision, but AMC is urging them to instead work together to build a better system. The Canadian Armed Forces is honoring the long service of one of its aircraft. Around 3 this afternoon, a Hercules and 2 fighter jets will conduct a flyby of 1 Canadian Air Division headquarters at 17 Wing. It's to mark the end of the CC-130H's air-to-air refueling mission. The refueling operations ceased last month, but the Hercules will continue to help in search and rescue and transport missions. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning on St. Mary's Road due to street construction. Only 1 northbound lane will remain open between Fermor Avenue and Abinogi-Mi'kmaq. 1 eastbound left turn lane on Abinogi-Mi'kmaq will be closed from River Road to St. Mary's Road. And on Beaver Hill Boulevard, only a temporary northbound lane will be open between Fermor Avenue and Shamrock Drive. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please send us a text.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution.
Cloudy start to your Thursday out there in Winnipeg, but mild with those temperatures. 14 degrees. Those winds a factor this morning and will be getting faster and more furious into the afternoon. Currently out of the southeast at 38 clicks. Pressure falling. Humidity at 40%. Yes, we are starting off on a warmer note, and with some humidity comes a chance of instability. Details on that in a moment, but let's take a look at these current conditions. Around us, very similar temperatures. Brandon downright balmy at 16 degrees. Dauphin at 15. Over in Morden and Winkler area, 14 degrees this hour. Gimli a little bit chillier at 7. To the north we go, staying below freezing this hour in Churchill at -3 degrees, but much warmer in Thompson at 9. The Paw even breaking double digits at 11 degrees. I mentioned there's a lot of instability and they've triggered a number of warnings. So for starters, there's a winter storm warning in effect, particularly for the Churchill area, and then further there to the west, there's a risk of freezing rain. So the system likely bringing in, as mentioned, freezing drizzle, turning to freezing rain, turning to snowfall as those temperatures plummet overnight. And then we also have wind warnings in effect to the southwest. That's because southerly gusts could reach upwards of 60 to 90 kilometers per hour this afternoon. So needless to say, it's going to be quite the windy day ahead. For us here in Winnipeg, we're starting off with a mix of sun and cloud. 15 degrees as kids take lunch. It's 20, and that's when we get that risk of rainfall and thunderstorm. 21 as they head home. We're getting even warmer than that, 24 degrees. Likely that rainfall should taper off overnight. Chance of it sticking around into tomorrow, but likely a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 21. Your Skywatch picture of the day, adorable little hatchlings there. Thanks to Leonora for snapping this in Winnipeg, and keep them coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break, but don't go anywhere. So much more Your Morning Winnipeg still to come.
Good morning. An art gallery that's become a fixture in the Exchange District is moving to a new location this summer, and its swan song is an exhibition and auction for the ages. CTV's Daniel Homerson reports.
Norval Morisseau, the Group of Seven, and Maud Lewis. Works by some of our country's most acclaimed artists are on display here at Mayberry Fine Art in the Exchange District.
Often you have to travel to see this sort of thing, and we have it here, available for Winnipeg, art enthusiasts to see.
Each of the 89 pieces in the exhibition are up for auction this month, and gallery director Sean Mayberry says it's one of the highest value art sales in Winnipeg history.
The combined pre-sale estimate for the auction is 1.1 to 1.5 million.
The piece likely to fetch the highest bid is this oil on board painting by Group of Seven member Lauren Harris from 1919. Mayberry says it came from a private collection out of Calgary and could sell for up to $175,000.
A wonderful opportunity to have a painting that we can bring to market for the first time since the late 1960s.
But he adds there are also plenty of paintings estimated to sell in the hundreds.
There are a lot of other artists that make up the sort of dynamic art community whose work just haven't been discovered the same way. And it provides a variety of very flexible access points into collecting.
The exhibition and auction has added meaning for the Mayberry family. The gallery is moving out of the Exchange and into a new location on Wall Street this summer.
We love the Exchange, we love the building, and the building itself has become very central to our identity as a business.
And for Mayberry, there's no better way to celebrate the end of an era than to celebrate why they opened in the first place.
It's a great opportunity for collectors or audiences and just people interested in the art to come down and see a great selection of historical Canadian art of all shapes and sizes.
Daniel Homerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The art auction runs until May 28th. You can see the whole collection for sale at mayberryfineart.com. A Greek island once worth millions of dollars can now be yours for about the price of an apartment. This is the Greek island of Makri, once marketed as a crown jewel for international investors. Just a few years ago, it was listed by high-end real estate agencies for about 12 million Canadian, pitched as the perfect location for a 5-star luxury resort. But now it's headed to auction with a starting price of around $395,000. That's roughly the cost of a small apartment in Athens. So why the drop? Well, there seems to be a lack of interest now, with environmental protection laws making it difficult to develop. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is prize. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter prize with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest. Brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck.
casting our eye to the cloudy sky. This morning it's 14 degrees. Winds are strong out of the southeast, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Details on that in a moment. Pressure falling, humidity at 40%. Yes, a very strong low pressure system that's starting to push into our region is causing a mess of weather conditions, or will be rather, later on today. You can see it creeping in there from the southwest corner, and as such, there's another number of warnings to tell you about. So we'll start off with a winter storm warning. That's most notably in and around Churchill. You can't quite tell, but there's also a freezing rain warning closer to the Thompson area. So that low pressure system likely beginning in areas in the northwest as that freezing drizzle and turning to snowfall as it heads east. And then in the southwest, wind warnings associated with this same system in effect in the southwest. Environment and Climate Change Canada warns wind gusts in this region could be upwards from 70 to 90 kilometers per hour later on this morning and lasting into the early evening. That doesn't mean we're going to be immune here in Winnipeg either. Very strong southwesterly or southerly winds rather, with a high of 24 degrees. With that wind, lots of instability, good chance of some rainfall and thunderstorm activity. Likely it'll taper off overnight, but there is that slight chance of showers continuing. 13 degrees, and those southwesterly winds staying fast and furious at 50, gusting at times to 70 kilometers per hour. Slight chance of showers tomorrow, likely sunny skies. 21 degrees are high. From there, a little bit of everything on tap for a May-long weekend, as is the case usually. 13 degrees with sunshine on Saturday, then a good chance of rainfall on Sunday.
A 46-year-old man has been charged in connection with the death of a man near St. Anne earlier this month. 49-year-old Cameron Hooley suffered life-threatening injuries and died following an assault on May 2nd. That assault, according to the RCMP, happened at a social gathering at a home east of town off Dawson Road. We're told a fight broke out among some people there, and during it, Hooley received the injury which took his life. Mounties say he and the suspect were both guests but didn't know each other prior to the incident. 46-year-old Jeff Winus is now charged with 1 count of manslaughter. He's since been released with conditions. The charge has not been tested in court. Local Jewish communities will benefit from upgrades to a federal program meant to improve safety and security. That's according to the head of the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs.
A charitable organization that is focused on social programs or education programs doesn't have to dedicate its time and resources to security considerations. A school shouldn't have to become an expert in security. It should be focused on educating children. And that's the fundamental principle that underlines this.
That's Noah Shack discussing a $75 million boost to Ottawa's Canada Community Security Program. The fund offers 70% of costs, up to $1.5 million, to groups at risk of hate-motivated crimes to offset the cost of security equipment, security services, or training. In its spring economic update, the federal government also updated the application requirements in hopes of making the process more efficient.
So this is a fundamental first step to protect facilities, but we need to move forward in partnership with government to address the root causes of what's fueling this radicalization, the harassment, hate, and intimidation that has really skyrocketed over the last 3 years.
The program is accepting applications now. There's no deadline to apply, but it's done on a first-come, first-served basis. You can find out more by visiting publicsafety.gc.ca. Canadian scientists have just found a new missing piece in the puzzle of how autism works, based on a study involving thousands of families. CTV's Pauline Chan on what the findings could mean for early diagnosis and personalized care.
Scientists have known for decades that there was a genetic link to autism spectrum disorder.
Our previous studies looked at the protein coding genes of the genome. And now our novel discovery here actually found a long non-coding RNA.
It's found on the X chromosome, and it's associated with autism in males who carry small deletions in the gene.
We think about perhaps this new molecule we've identified is more of a dimmer switch.
And it's connected with what are the core behavioral traits associated with autism: difficulties with socializing, communicating, and repetitive behaviors.
Professor Shearer says the key to their discovery has been their ability to do whole genome sequencing for thousands of people.
Susan Cosgrove has 3 children, all on the spectrum. She says she's always believed in a genetic link, but this finding could be key in earlier and more reliable diagnosis.
It's still somebody's interpretation of your child's behavior, your child's features. If this was able to be diagnosed through a blood test, right, we wouldn't have to do that wait.
Now that we have cellular pathways identified, we can think about precision therapeutics for perhaps all people who have a diagnosis of autism. And that's why this is really a novel finding.
Newer technology is helping this type of research examine regions of the genome it could never study before. The researchers have been able to transfer these genetic alterations to mouse models to work towards someday developing targeted therapies for specific autism-related genes. Pauline Chan, CTV News, Toronto.
A retired RCMP officer accused of working for China has been found not guilty of foreign interference.
It's been almost 3 years, so devastating for families.
William Miker was accused of planning to coerce a Vancouver millionaire to return to China as part of Beijing's Fox Hunt program. A BC judge ruled the Crown could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Miker committed any of the alleged acts. Miker now has his passport back. He says he will start rebuilding his life in Hong Kong, where he started an advising company. Shoppers in Ontario may have noticed a new option in the dairy aisles, 6% milk. It came to market last month. AgroPure, the parent company of Seal Test, says there's been growing interest in higher fat milk options, particularly in South Asian communities. That said, Health Canada's recommendations have not changed. It recommends 3.25% homogenized milk for babies from 12 to 24 months old and lower fat options for everyone else. Now, this guy can really cut a rug. This is at an AI industry summit in Hong Kong. This full-sized humanoid robot was put on display to show off its moves. The makers of this robot say it's capable of interacting naturally with people, much like a human companion. Here's a look at what's happening in traffic outside on Portage Avenue. It looks like things are moving quite well over here. Let's look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.82, higher than yesterday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.46, found at 3 gas stations. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
Coming up, we're going to find out more about the motorcycle ride for Dad. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
It's a bit of a calm before the storm, so to speak. Yes, we are in store for a bit of a blustery and exciting day ahead weather-wise, we'll put it that way. Currently, though, in the here and now, it's 14 degrees, pretty overcast. Winds out of the southeast at 38 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling, humidity sitting at 40%. So an approaching strong low-pressure system is likely to spread a whole mess of conditions today throughout different parts of Manitoba. So to the north, it'll likely begin as freezing rain for you and move more into the realm of snowfall with some very strong southerly winds at 50, gusting at times to 70 kilometers per hour. For us here in the south, we have a 60% chance of it showing up as rainfall, maybe some thunderstorm activity as well, lasting throughout the day, alongside very strong winds. Could be upwards from 70 to 90 kilometers per hour. The good news is the rainfall likely to taper off overnight, but the winds staying pretty strong overnight as well. Let's go on and check in with our own Ainsley McPhail, who's learning all about the motorcycle ride for Dad. Ainsley.
Hi, good morning, Catherine. They're in their 18th year. CL Ferguson joins us now. You've been as a celebrity ambassador for quite some time now. I'm going to surprise you with how much money it's raised so far. $255,000. How does that feel?
It feels great. You know, me and my sisters, we're so proud to be able to be a part of the Manitoba Ride for Dad and see directly and indirectly how it's changing lives and saving lives every day for everyone in the community. Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
And of course, it's obvious, but why specifically did you want to be a part of it?
We wanted to be a part of it. Honestly, initially, it was just the excitement of the motorcycles, something that me and my family have been really involved in, something that we love. But as we became more involved with it, it hit a different note in our hearts. You know, we've been directly and indirectly impacted by cancer in our lives, and it's something really difficult for everybody, the whole family. So we are really happy to be able to work with an organization that touches people, and we're able to touch people in that same way and help people.
Mm-hmm. And Manitobans truly rallying behind this May 30th, 10 a.m. kickoff. What's it like? Because there's literally a police escort before, but kind of bring us to that day.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely crazy. If you haven't been, I would definitely mark your calendars, May 30th. It's gonna be amazing. Last year we had, I believe, 1,500 motorcycles registered for the ride. So to have that many engines just in the same space is phenomenal. It's just the roar of the community. And it almost brought me to tears a little bit on stage, being there, just seeing everybody just rallying and being for a cause.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones climbed 359 points. The Nasdaq added 83 points. The S&P index had small gains. The Canadian dollar is flat, set to 72.96 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng had no changes, and the Nikkei fell 618 points. Good morning. It is 6:45. A 24-year-old man is facing a lengthy list of drug and weapon-related charges following a bust at a Central Park apartment. Winnipeg police began investigating drug trafficking in the area earlier this month. Last week, officers searched an apartment on Cumberland Avenue. They found 21 loaded restricted handguns, a silencer, a mixture of ammunition, 27 grams of cocaine, and about $25,000 in cash. The man faces dozens of weapons and drug charges. He was detained in custody. The city is adjusting its target for new home construction thanks to a funding boost from Ottawa. The city has secured an additional $4 million through the Housing Accelerator Fund as a result of it exceeding its 2-year target for new homes. At the beginning of December, Winnipeg recorded more than 9,700 new housing units, which means it cleared its goal by 114%. It's now upping its year-end goal by 150 units for a target of more than 14,200. The additional funding is on top of some $30.6 million in annual funding through the program. There's going to be more French language nurses in the province. The Manitoba government announced it's adding 30 new seats at St. Boniface University's French language Bachelor of Nursing program. It brings the total of seats to 75. The province is also spending almost $220,000 over 4 years to enhance bilingual health care.
At Université de Saint-Boniface, we strongly believe that language matters in healthcare. Being able to receive care in the official language of your choice has a direct impact on the accuracy of diagnosis, on trust, on safety, on quality of care, on recovery, and on healing.
The expanded cohort begins its training in 2026-27 academic year. The Prime Minister is expected to make a major energy announcement today. The federal government's long-delayed clean electricity strategy is expected to be laid out by Mark Carney. The plan is to double Canada's grid capacity by 2050, something sources say would be the biggest build out of the national grid in this country's history. It's expected to lower total energy costs for 70% of Canadian households over the next 25 years and create nearly 30,000 new jobs by the end of 2028. The RCMP say several people have been sent to hospital after a charter bus rolled off a highway northwest of Edmonton. It happened in a rural area near the Alberta-BC border. Police say there were 17 people on the bus, oil and gas workers heading to Grand Prairie. Some were left with minor injuries, others were seriously hurt. It's still not clear why the bus veered off the road. Drug overdose deaths are continuing their downward decline in the U.S. The CDC reports they fell by about 14% last year. This marks the third consecutive year of declines. That's unprecedented in recent history, as drug OD deaths have only gone down in 5 of the past 30 years. There was a huge drop of 27% between 2023 and 24. The biggest contributor has been fewer overdoses involving fentanyl as the opioid crisis eases. But there were still almost 70,000 overdose deaths in 2025. It remains the leading cause of death for Americans 18 to 44 years old. An incredible image captured on a trail cam in Banff National Park is being used to remind visitors to leave wildlife alone. The photo shows a grizzly snacking on a fish. The park posted the shot on their Facebook account to remind visitors to stick to the rules when it comes to wildlife that are feeding. That means staying 10 bus lengths away from bears, wolves, cougars, and coyotes. The Artemis II crew had a busy day ahead in Quebec after spending yesterday with the Prime Minister.
The flag that flew on the day you splashed down. Oh, wow.
Splashdown. It's been just over a month since the 4-person crew splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean. They visited with Prime Minister Carney along with some local students ahead of a sold-out public discussion on their epic 10-day lunar flyby mission. Carney gave the crew some commemorative silver coins as well as the Canadian flag that was flying on the Peace Tower the day of their splashdown. And Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen gave Carney a framed Canadian flag patch that he said was in the capsule throughout the mission. Today, the crew will visit the Canadian Space Agency in Quebec. Very cool. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. On St. Mary's Road, due to street construction, only one northbound lane will remain open between Fermor Avenue and Abinogi-Mi'kmaq. One eastbound left turn lane on Abinogi-Mi'kmaq will be closed from River Road to St. Mary's Road. And on Beaver Hill Boulevard, only a temporary northbound lane will be open between Fermor Avenue and Shamrock Drive. If you see any issues out there, send us a text, please.
A bit of a breezy and cloudy start to your Thursday out there in Winnipeg. It's 14 degrees, pretty overcast. Winds out of the southeast at 38 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling. Humidity sits at 40%. A low pressure system is throwing a little bit of everything at us today. You can see it there, creeping in, inching in there in the southwest. However, much of the province is likely to feel its effects, as evidenced by all these warnings. So, a winter storm warning in effect for Churchill, more to the point of freezing drizzle warnings in and around Thompson. And then in the southwest, there is also some wind warnings to tell you about. Details on just how fast and furiously those winds are expected to gust. Meanwhile, in this area, under that wind or freezing drizzle or freezing rain warning, temperatures decent around what's typical for this time of year. So that's at least some good news. 12 degrees in Thompson, 10 in Gillam, -1 in Churchill, over Island Lake, 16 degrees, though you have a slighter chance of some rainfall today. To the northwest, same for you as well. Rainfall, maybe some thunderstorm activity mixed in there. Temperatures warm in Opaskwayak Cree Nation at 16 degrees, 14 in Flin Flon, over in Norway House Cree Nation, 15 degrees. The southwest, this region under a yellow wind warning. There we go. Still getting used to our new system here with Environment and Climate Change Canada. It's in effect because gusts could be out of the south at 70 to 90 kilometers per hour, pretty intense. Above seasonal values, though, as is the case for us here in Winnipeg, as we're likely to contend with rain and thunderstorms and some decently strong winds, similar to what they're seeing in the southwest. Northwestern Ontario, also a stormy day ahead. Overnight, slight chance of rainfall continuing. Likely, though, it'll taper off with 13 degrees. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, another warm one at 21.
Thank you, Catherine. Let's check in now on the team at 103.1 Virgin Radio. Hi, you guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Bon matin.
Merci.
We have, this came up sort of innocently. We've been talking about barbecuing a lot this week, right? Unofficial sort of kickoff to backyard barbecuing season week. Mm-hmm. You know that igniter thing?
Yes.
On your barbecue?
That thing you press.
Yep.
Like, pakunk. Okay. You know that thing works like generally like 7 times and then it never works again?
You
right?
have
Like
to change the battery.
Pretty common. Oh my God!
Okay, Rochelle.
Yeah, there's a battery back there, guys.
This is where we're going with this. Rochelle,
you are
and everyone. So whatever
you are Bell Employee of the Year.
So whatever you think of us, fine. But like, we're 3 adults and collectively we know quite a bit of stuff, okay? Now, we're not saying we know everything, which is actually the example here. But we didn't know that. Okay. We did not know on that igniter on a barbecue, you know, you buy it, you press it, it starts, and then a couple days later it doesn't work anymore. Right. So you start using a lighter or a match. Exactly what Rochelle is saying. A woman named Trina heard us talking about how angry we were with the barbecue industry yesterday. No offense. Okay? And then she's like, you guys, there is a AA battery. So as Rochelle, and I guess the rest of Manitoba knows, you screw off that igniter, you pull it out, and a AA battery goes in there.
We're the only 3, I think.
So come back here. I can't do it alone.
Okay.
Well, now you
Rochelle.
Oh.
Yeah, but
we're idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. That's one of our bigger concerns here.
So much here. 1, it blew our mind, and 2, that we're the only ones who didn't know that this was a thing.
It's a very useful tool, for sure, when you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, you guys. Now everybody knows,
to our
for sure.
families. The children.
Thanks, you. Well, we all know that Stevie Wonder song, I Just Called to Say I Love You. But these days, people rarely use their phones to actually call until someone had the idea to put rotary phones on a pole. Here's CTV's Adam Sawatsky.
Well, Maggie Olson-Moore is seeing them for the first time.
Oh my goodness gracious, and what's this for?
It's been a couple weeks since Eric Weeb noticed the phones attached to the pole.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Although the technology can seem kind of like a novelty now.
Oh, rotary.
There is something special.
Yeah, I kind of miss it.
about taking the time to dial a number.
I mean, it feels like a toy at this point because it's so much fun.
Well, the phones aren't connected to anything. Chelsea Turner noticed there is an invitation to connect with anyone you love.
Call your loved one, tell them everything, and practice here. Yeah, that's really sweet.
But the reality of actually accepting the invitation can feel really scary.
Oh, what's going to come out? Who am I going to talk to? What should I say?
And isn't it ironic, Eric says, that in this time when we're constantly connected to our phones, we're often using them to avoid connecting with people?
They're kind of a distraction. It's more of a distraction, less of a connection nowadays.
Which is why Maggie is so appreciative of this opportunity.
Do we tell our loved ones that we love them that often enough, and then all of a sudden they're gone, right? So yeah, happened to me too many times.
So they summon the courage to call.
Hello?
Eric listens to someone who's been struggling.
Remember you telling me that you were kind of going through some stuff?
Hi, Tom.
Maggie tells her husband all about the grandkids she's visiting.
And Levi's feeling better, yep.
And Chelsea?
Hello, Nan.
Tells her 89-year-old Nan, who helped raise her when she was young, how she's a never-ending inspiration.
Because you are a wonderful woman.
And no matter what each one began saying, everyone ended up communicating what all of us really want to hear.
I just wanted to tell you that I love you a lot.
I just wanted to call and tell you I love you.
Love you so much. Mwah. Yeah, it's so sweet. I love that. That's so cute. Oh, yeah, I'm emotional.
And seeing as it was so wonderful to make these imaginary calls,
even though there's nobody on the other end, it gives you that good feeling.
All these people say they're leaving so they can go make the real ones.
This is happy time here.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
Here's what's happening now on the Provencher Bridge. Just one car so far and one pedestrian. Looks good. We're going to be right back after this break with your 7 o'clock headlines. It's Thursday, May 14th. Today, Lac du Bonnet remembers how 1 year after deadly wildfires, families are rebuilding and reflecting on lives lost. Plus, Thompson underwater, why flooded streets are creating major problems during a rapid spring melt. And honoring the lost. Families in Winnipeg walk to remember missing and murdered Indigenous men and boys. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. At 7 o'clock on your Thursday, we have Catherine Dow joining us for Terry this morning, and we're going to get to weather in just a moment. But first, we're going to tell you about a community connection happening at 7:52. It's all about a fashion show that is happening this weekend, all in support of young women and girls that live in Zimbabwe. So we're going to tell you more about that, but it's also falling on Africa Day, which is also this weekend. So we're going to have some fun details about that fashion show and who's going to be the models, which is so fun and exciting. But the weather won't be fun today.
No, Rochelle. We are dealing with some inclement weather approaching from the west, and it's likely to sprinkle a whole lot of different things all over the province. What a tease for what's to come. But currently, it is overcast and nice and warm. The good news is if you've been missing that heat, if it hasn't felt much like spring, today will finally feel like a return to those warmer values. It's 14 degrees, pretty overcast, strong winds out of the southeast at 38 kilometers per hour. Pressure is falling. Humidity sits at 40%. So you can pretty much see the culprit here behind all this instability. This strong approaching low pressure system that's pushing gradually in from the west, likely to spread, for starters, some freezing rain to areas in northern Manitoba. So freezing rain expected areas further to the west, and then even in snowfall form in areas near Churchill. It sparked a winter storm warning specifically in and around Churchill. Meanwhile, we're not immune in the southwest. Wind warnings in effect as gusts from from the south could reach upwards of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour. They'll really ramp up later on this morning and taper off into this evening. Though we won't also be immune here in Winnipeg. Some very strong winds approaching us as well. So the Futurecast gives us a sense on how the system will play out. As it approaches, it really swirls, and you can see the blue wrapped in there. That's the snowfall. As it swirls through and pushes upwards to the north there, we start to see it taper off for us overnight and into tomorrow. We get lots of sunshine. Well, it stays pretty stormy into Friday in northern Manitoba and areas pretty near to the north of us. Temperatures today, though, alongside that stormy weather, warm and above seasonal, 24 degrees. And tomorrow, not too shabby either, as we see things die off. 21 is our high. Your weather art of the day, Aubrey Lynn, just 10 years old, painted this lovely photo of a colorful sky and lots of birds flying in it. Thanks so much for sending it in. And remember, we want to be seeing your child's weather art of the day. You can submit them by visiting our website, CTVNewsWinnipeg.ca. Fill out the form because your art can be shown on Your Morning Winnipeg, and it's also going to enter you into our monthly contest. It's a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crocodoodle on Keniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crocodoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
The people of Lac du Bonnet are marking a solemn milestone. It's been 1 year since a wildfire ripped through the area, claiming 2 lives and leaving widespread damage. CTV's Alex Karpa spoke to residents now, reflecting on the recovery from that devastating day.
A lot of memories.
Shane Robinson's cottage was destroyed in the wildfire that tore through Manitoba's Lac du Bonnet region last year. A moment he says is still fresh in his mind.
We could see that there was nothing left.
Robinson took this photo shortly after the fire swept through his property on Wendigo Road, leaving behind rubble and debris. 1 year later, grass and mud cover what remains, but he says he plans on rebuilding.
So it's all on track to be finished by hopefully next winter.
Some with properties here on Wendigo Road are still planning their rebuild, but there has been a lot of construction happening here since the fire ripped through this community last year. About half a dozen homes are either in the process or are fully rebuilt.
Holy crap.
This is video Lavina Harding captured the first time she returned to her property.
House is up.
A year after losing her home in the fire, Harding has rebuilt and is now living here full time.
I see new hope, and I think that the rest of the way will be a little bit easier.
The wildfire destroyed 28 properties, forced more than 1,100 people to evacuate, and claimed the lives of Sue and Richard Noel. A bridge in the community has since been renamed in their honor.
We lowered our flags today to half-mast in remembrance of what our region and what their family and friends and sons have lost as well.
As Robinson looks ahead, he says fire prevention will be a major focus when the new cottage is built.
I'm going to put some sprinklers on top of my cottage, make sure the grass is green, the trees are all cut back.
Doing everything he can to ensure his family never goes through another wildfire tragedy. Alex Karpa, CTV News, Lac du Bonnet, Manitoba.
The arm of Lac du Bonnet says its firefighters have now undergone extensive wildland firefighting training. The town and the RM have also completed a wildfire risk assessment to see what can be done to reduce risk. Parts of Thompson are underwater as the city's drain system struggles to keep up with a rapid spring melt. Public Works crews in Thompson are working extra hours trying to clear catch basins, flush storm drainage lines, and remove grates to help get the water moving. Drivers are warned to use caution around flooded areas, such as Cree Road between Deerwood Drive and Juniper Drive. Pedestrians and cyclists are also advised to be wary of puddles, as the depth may catch you off guard. The College of Registered Nurses of Manitoba is apologizing for its role in systemic discrimination and generational harms in healthcare.
We have failed to act in ways that would have guided the education and practice of registered nurses serving First Nations, Inuit, and Métis towards two of the most central tenets of healthcare: to help and to do no harm.
The college registrar delivered the apology Wednesday in front of Indigenous elders, knowledge keepers, nurses, and community members. Deb Elias acknowledged registered nurses were involved in physical, spiritual, and cultural harms through participation in residential schools, Indian hospitals, and other social programs. Elias says this apology is a step toward advancing reconciliation, which will include an Indigenous advisory group. Staff and students at Shamrock School in Winnipeg are getting an unexpected and extended long weekend. The school will be shut down today and Friday. According to a post on the Louis Riel School Division website, the school experienced an electrical issue Wednesday afternoon. The school's main power panel sustained extensive damage, and the transformer supplying power to the school was also affected. Now that's left the school without power, and officials don't expect electricity to be restored until Tuesday. As a result, classes have been canceled, and daycares won't be operating either until Tuesday. The Post says daycare operators have been informed about the closure. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says the province will appeal a judge's decision to throw out a petition to separate from Canada.
I think that this decision is incorrect in law and anti-democratic, and we will be appealing it as a result.
The judge ruled the separation petition and the signatures collected are not valid and should not have been approved by Alberta's chief electoral officer in the first place. That's because organizers started the petition process before consulting with First Nations, which hold treaty rights. Lawyers for several First Nations had argued the separatist referendum process is unconstitutional.
The Alberta government cannot move forward with any kind of process that would see Alberta separate from Canada without first sitting down with the treaty parties and hearing what they have to say.
The Alberta government and Stay Free Alberta, the group behind the petition, are both expected to appeal. One of its lawyers added Premier Smith can simply call a referendum on separation. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along the Norwood Bridge. Things are moving well, but slowly picking up in this part of the city. If you see any problems out there, please let us know.
Honda is reporting its first ever annual loss since becoming a publicly traded company in Japan nearly 7 decades ago, as the costly retreat from its ambitious electric vehicle targets plunged earnings into the red. The automaker reported a net loss of $2.7 billion for the fiscal year. Canadian Tire is reporting its first quarter profit rose compared with a year ago, as its revenue also climbed higher but missed analysts' estimates. The retailer reported net income of $129.5 million, or $2.02 per diluted share for the quarter ending April 4th. The federal government is pushing to get Canadian companies on major Chinese e-commerce platforms as the two countries deepen their ties. International Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu told the Canadian press in a recent interview that China's e-commerce titans Alibaba and JD.com want more Canadian businesses on their platform. Sidhu says the push is happening now because the relationship is where it's at. And Canada's housing market remains sluggish, with sales of existing homes picking up slightly last month, even as prices dipped. National home sales, resales that is, were up 0.7% in April from the month before, after slipping 0.1% a month earlier. The Canadian Real Estate Association reporting that on Thursday. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's telling us all about the Manitoba motorcycle ride for dad. And you're holding one of the jackets with a bunch of crests on it. What's this about?
Rochelle, this belongs to Ed, who I'm going to be chatting with at 7:42, who's going to share his story. But what's most impressive, I mean, other than beating cancer, which is insane, $87,000 raised for Ride for Dad. So far this year, people have raised $255,000. So well on their way to the goal of hitting $1 million by the 20-year milestone. We're also going to be chatting with a doctor coming up at 7:27 who shares about her research in the fight. 100% of the proceeds going right to this cause. And Manitobans, they're so generous.
Absolutely.
See you there on the 30th.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's going to be a breezy day today, Catherine.
That is an understatement, Rochelle. Yes, we have wind warnings in effect in the southwest. That's because gusts starting later on this morning could be about 70 to 90 kilometers per hour. Winnipeg won't be exempt from that either. But let's talk about what we're currently experiencing, shall we? It's 14 degrees with some pretty overcast skies. Already strong winds, as mentioned, out of the south-southeast at 39, gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling, humidity at 38%. So an approaching very intense low-pressure system is spreading a lot of inclement weather throughout northern Manitoba and all of the province for that matter. To the north, it's going to show up as freezing rain and maybe some snowfall in cooler areas around Thompson and Churchill. And accompanying with it, very strong southwest southwesterly winds. Stronger winds expected here in the south, where that system will materialize as rain, maybe some thunderstorms. And yes, strong southwesterly winds at 70, gusting at times to 90 kilometers per hour. Pretty intense. The good news is the temperatures are going to be warm, above seasonal. For us here in Winnipeg, we're looking at a high of 24 degrees.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Time now for our question of the day. Today is National Buttermilk Biscuit Day, and we want to know, what's your favorite biscuit or cookie? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
It's time for our Pet of the Week reveal. This week, we're celebrating Bowser. Bowser is on the left. He turned 11 last week, and he had a birthday party. He's posing with his little sister, Rosalina, in the right. They are wishing you a great day. Thanks, Amber, for sharing this photo with us from Whitemouth, Manitoba. We love your Pet of the Week submissions, so please keep them coming. Share a photo and a fun story about your pet, dog, cat, bird, or any other buddy at petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then make sure to watch Thursdays to see if your pet is named our Pet of the Week. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand in your pocket. Now, today's code word is prize. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter prize with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck. Mounties are investigating after human remains were found in a small community in the Interlake. Officers were sent to the town of Riverton Tuesday and confirmed human remains were found on a property. They have yet to be identified. A spokesperson was unable to elaborate on what type of property or its location, saying more details will be released when they are available. Riverton is located near the northwest shore of Lake Winnipeg's South Basin, about 40 kilometers north of Gimli. The City of Winnipeg is warning residents to be extra careful with fire and to take more precautions as we head into the long weekend. In a news release, the city says we're at elevated risk for wildland and grass fires due to dry conditions and expected high winds. Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service says fires can't be started even with a permit if winds or gusts are higher than 25 kilometers per hour. That also includes fires even in an approved fire pit. The advice is to check the forecast before striking a match. You're also reminded to dispose of smoking materials safely, to educate children on the dangers of starting fires, and to call 911 immediately if you see a fire. Families and community members are hitting the streets to raise awareness of the violence, loss, and systemic injustices experienced by Indigenous boys and men.
Like, I would like to find my boy, bring him home.
Kelly Lavallee joined other families for the second annual walk to honor missing and murdered Indigenous men and boys. Her son Dwayne disappeared from Ebb and Flow First Nation. Organizers say the goal of the walk is to highlight the disproportionate rates of violence, incarceration, and disappearance they say are too often silenced or overlooked.
So today is about healing, love, justice, and for all of us to come together to speak and to honor our loved ones today.
The walk left the Canadian Museum for Human Rights before making its way to the Manitoba Legislature, where 7 families shared their stories with the crowd. 94 people were murdered in Manitoba in 2024. 50 of them were Indigenous men or boys. One of the first ever poems written in Old English can be found in Italy. The poem is called the Hymn of Cadmon. It was composed during the 7th century by a humble farmer and finally transcribed onto the page in the 9th century by an Italian monk. This copy was once thought lost forever. It was found by chance as a book in a library in Rome was being digitized. The poem is now available for the world to read. Very neat. Here's a look at what's happening now on Kenaston Boulevard. Looks like things are moving quite well this Thursday morning. We have no issues in traffic to tell you about at this point in the morning drive.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
In entertainment, an American drag queen and comedian is coming to Winnipeg this fall. Bob the Drag Queen's Now Clap the Comedy Tour will hit the Club Region Events Center stage on October 3rd.
The difference between Super Mario Brothers and Mortal Kombat, night and day.
His unabashed confidence helped him win the title of America's Next Drag Superstar on Season 8 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Tickets start at $49 plus fees and go on sale Friday through Ticketmaster. Music fans, this may be difficult to believe, but it's been 10 years since the Man Machine Poem Tour. To mark the anniversary of their farewell tour, the Tragically Hip is releasing a live album made up of the performances from the tour. It comes out August 21st, a day after the anniversary of their final show in Kingston. The next season of The Voice is set to get a new mentor, Queen Latifah joining as a coach. The Grammy-winning singer and actress is joining fellow coaches Adam Levine, Kelly Clarkson, and country singer Riley Green. News of Latifah's season edition comes days after NBC announced Clarkson was returning next season after 10 seasons. Premiering in the fall, the 30th season is promising lots of surprises, including special appearances, and you can catch the upcoming season right here on CTV. Here's your Thursday primetime lineup. Next Level Chef comes on at 7. Catch Fear Factor, House of Fear at 8. Celebrity Jeopardy hits at 9. And wrapping up at 10 is Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution.
A balmy but cloudy start to your Thursday here in Winnipeg and all throughout southern Manitoba for that matter. 14 degrees under those overcast skies. Winds strong out of the south-southeast at 39, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. If you can believe it, it's going to get even stronger from here. Barometric pressure falling, humidity at 38%. So yes, we are on a kind of storm watch, if you will. It's not going to be a storm, but we will be dealing with a good amount of instability. Coming with it, some very warm and pleasant temperatures. Kind of a misnomer as to what's to come. 16 degrees in Brandon, 19 in Dauphin. Let me move out of the way so you folks can see or further to the east. 14 degrees in Morden and Winkler. Over in Kenora, 10 degrees this hour. Moving to the north, temperatures slightly cooler, particularly in Churchill at -3 degrees. Lynn Lake at 7, but much warmer in the Paw at 12 degrees. We have a massive warnings to tell you about because an approaching intense strong low pressure system is going to be bringing all sorts of mess to the province. So starting in the north, where there is a winter storm warning, particularly for Churchill, but areas further to the west, freezing rain. And then for the southwest, a yellow wind warning because gusts out of the south could be 70 to 90 kilometers per hour, starting likely later this morning, ramping up into the afternoon, tapering off overnight. Temperatures, though, very warm at 15 degrees, but as kids take lunch, 20 degrees, and that's when we get the risk of rain and thunderstorms. Not terribly organized, so they'll be scattered. And then 21 as they head home under that stormy weather. It'll likely taper off overnight, temperatures dipping down to 13, and tomorrow another pleasant one with sunshine. Your Skywatch picture of the day, Leonora snapped these adorable little baby ducks. Thanks for sending that in, and keep your weather pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
May 14th, 1856. New York dairyman Gail Borden received a patent for the process of making sweetened condensed milk. He reportedly wanted to find a safer way to preserve milk after witnessing children dying aboard a long ship voyage from England to the U.S. from drinking contaminated milk. May 14th, 2008. The United States listed polar bears as a threatened species, marking the first time a U.S. species had been given legal protection because of the effects of global warming. Melting sea ice caused by rising temperatures was the central reason for the designation. May 14th, 2019. Tim Conway, the impish second banana to Carol Burnett, who won 4 Emmy Awards on her TV variety show, died at age 85. Conway joined the Carol Burnett Show in 1975 after years as a frequent guest. He was famous for his deadpan expression and innocent, simple-minded demeanor. Younger audiences knew him as the voice of Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob SquarePants. Students in St. James had the need for speed yesterday. It was the second annual Top Gun Day at Sturgeon Heights. And as CTV photojournalist Glenn Pismeni found out, it's an opportunity for students to find their wings.
They're having so much fun learning that they don't even realize it.
If you turn your yoke all the way to the left, then you'll roll in a circle.
Seeing that they have an interest in aviation really makes me happy, knowing that I had an interest just like them, and just being that person for them just really makes me happy, helps me learn from them, and they get to learn from me as well, so I'm very happy.
When I first started out, it was just amazing just being in this room and to be able to pass it on, and the interest in the aviation industry onto the youth is really nice.
High pressure to low pressure. Move to lower.
I'm very proud of my my aviation students. They took on leadership skills. I could tell they really enjoyed themselves and shared their knowledge with the younger students.
The air cools down and condenses.
When I came in, I was in the intro class, one of the 8 classes at the school, and from then on, I just been in the program every year, and I just have fun ever since.
This program's great. Aviation's great. We have a great teacher, and it's always nice getting to know new people every year and being with the same classmates throughout the 4 years.
How's it going over here?
Win-win for both grade 6ers plus my students. I'm a big advocate for mentoring, giving back, and that's what today was all about. My students giving back, mentoring, and sharing their passion.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's been talking about the Manitoba Motorcycle Ride for Dad throughout the morning, and 100% of the money raised here stays in this province and goes to research. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. And actually knowing where it goes and the true impact that it's having, Dr. Sabina Mai joins us to share just how much. So without Ride for Dad, what does it look like?
If you have a new idea, a new plan for your research that you want to apply for research that matters to prostate cancer patients, high risk, high reward is usually not funded by other agencies, but Ride for Dad. So the funding they provide allows you to develop new concepts and apply them to patients, and that's what we have done with their help.
Over time, millions of dollars. What has changed?
A lot has changed. In our research, we were able to show that with a simple blood sample, you can detect circulating tumor cells that come from the prostate. You can characterize them, profile them, and define whether they are more or less stable or more aggressive. Together with Dr. Saranchuk, Drachenberg, and Kwon, we did studies that involved Manitoba prostate cancer patients, and we were able to show for intermediate risk patients that some of them can be safely monitored, and others really should go for treatment, which in their case was surgery. For high-risk patients, we were able also to see how the treatment was working for them just with a blood sample, whether they responded, whether they remained stable, or whether the cancer was progressive.
We're almost out of time, but why should people do a quick donation, even right now?
Pardon?
Why should people watching at home donate right now?
Because that has to continue. We have to translate it to the patients.
And you're seeing it here. Isn't that so great? The 30th, it's happening. The number is climbing. Well over $200,000 raised, too. Manitobans, so generous.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go now to Catherine. It's going to be a really windy day today.
That's an understatement, Rochelle, and maybe a little bit stormy as well. We're tracking a low pressure system that could make things quite interesting. However, the good news, we're dealing with some very warm temperatures to kick us off, and we'll be getting above seasonal, which is nice. It hasn't felt a lot like spring so far this year. 14 degrees, overcast. Those strong wind gusts out of the southeast are whipping our camera around. Barometric pressure is falling. Humidity sits at 38%. So we are tracking a pretty intense low pressure system. You can see it kind of pushing in there from the west, bringing with it a whole host of conditions. So it's triggered winter storm warnings in and around the Churchill area and freezing rain warnings, in areas further to the west. So look for that to begin today and then transition to snowfall likely overnight with some very strong southerly winds. Even stronger winds expected in the southwest where we have yellow wind warnings in effect. So Environment and Climate Change Canada warns they could be blowing from the south at 70, gusting at times to 90 kilometers per hour. They're going to be pretty strong into the afternoon, tapering not even until tomorrow. Our temperatures, that's the good news. With warmth like this, we do have a good amount of instability, but 24 degrees is indeed above seasonal. 20 is what's typical. We'll also deal with some strong winds out of the south and a 60% chance of rain, maybe some thunderstorm activity off and on throughout the day. Very scattered if we get any of that activity. 13 degrees overnight, a small chance of those showers continuing, those winds staying pretty strong there. And then tomorrow, there's an outside chance we could get a little bit of moisture, but likely sunny with 21 degrees and that low chance of showers. From there, it's looking like a sunny day, but a cooler one on Saturday at 13 degrees, and we throw in some rainfall because, of course, it's May long on Sunday, 12 degrees there.
Thank you, Catherine. Another candidate has entered the Winnipeg mayor's race.
Crime is the #1 issue for Winnipeg.
Real estate agent Umar Hayat registered yesterday as a mayoral candidate. Hayat also ran for mayor in 2018. At that time, he voiced his opposition to opening Portage and Main and said he would cut infrastructure funding to prioritize sewage treatment upgrades and reduce transit fares. Hayat says he has spent years researching the issues, talking with Winnipeggers, and using that feedback to craft his campaign, which will focus on crime, transit, and improving infrastructure.
If you go into my website, hayatformayor.com, you will see how my ideas, and actually that's not my ideas. Whoever look, New York had a terrible crime. Okay, Toronto, London is the best example. How did they reduce crime? So I did pinpoint those factors like the drone, like the CCTV cameras on red zones.
Christopher Classio, Scott Gillingham, and Michael Wojciakis have also registered as mayoral candidates. The deadline is to register is September 22nd. Election day is Wednesday, October 28th. Gas prices in Ontario jumped overnight, and a record high in the province could be next.
Damage is done. The inventory is extraordinarily low to historical levels, and that means that the energy crisis is going to continue pretty much throughout the summer.
In Toronto, prices went from almost $1.90 a litre to nearly $8.95. Price analyst Dan McTagg predicts there won't be another jump before the long weekend. However, McTagg says prices in Ontario will break the record set in June 2022. Gas went for about $2.16 a litre months after the war in Ukraine started. This time around, McTagg thinks Ontario prices will reach $2.20. A deal between the federal government and Alberta on carbon pricing could be announced as early as tomorrow.
It's a great thing for the industry, and it's a great thing for Canada.
The federal government has basically turned the system into a permission slip for polluters to keep polluting.
A carbon price deal would clear a hurdle for the construction of a new pipeline to BC's west coast. Sources have confirmed to CTV News the deal would set the price at $130 a ton by the year 2040. That's lower and slower than the plan introduced in 2016. Prime Minister Mark Carney will reportedly be in Calgary tomorrow. Russia has launched one of its largest aerial assaults against Ukraine, killing at least 5 people in Kyiv, including a 12-year-old girl. A rescue operation is now underway at an apartment building that was hit. It marks the 3rd day in a row that Ukraine has reported deaths. Moscow ramped up its assault after a 3-day ceasefire ended Monday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says there were more than 670 drones and 50 missiles launched across the country. A South Carolina court has overturned the 2023 murder convictions of disgraced lawyer Alex Murdaugh.
He said he deserved to go to prison for what he did financially, but he can't accept the fact that he was convicted of murdering his wife and son.
His lawyer spoke with reporters yesterday after the state Supreme Court unanimously overturned convictions for killing his wife and son. The court says he deserves a new trial because the local county clerk had unfairly biased a jury against him. Murdoch, formerly a high-powered, influential lawyer, says he's innocent. And even though he lied about his alibi, there's no physical evidence linking him to the murders. He won't be getting out of prison anytime soon, though. He's serving a sentence for stealing millions of dollars from his clients. A Second World War era plane is taking flight this weekend in Brandon. The Commonwealth Air Training Plan Museum is launching its flying season with the debut of a Boeing Stearman Cadet. It's an original 1941 Allied training aircraft, and visitors will have the opportunity to step into the iconic open cockpit. If going up in the air isn't your thing, you can also watch flying operations on an active airfield apron. For more information, head to the museum's website. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning on St. Mary's Road due to street construction. Only one northbound lane will remain open between Fermor Avenue and Abinogi-Mi'kmaq. One eastbound left turn lane on Abinogi-Mi'kmaq will be closed from River Road to St. Mary's Road. And on Beaver Hill Boulevard, only a temporary northbound lane will be open between Fermor Avenue and Shamrock Drive. If you see any issues out on the streets, please send us a text to let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.82. It's higher than it was yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.46, found at 3 gas stations. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
Well, we just got a traffic alert for you. A motor vehicle crash and emergency crews are blocking the intersection of Benetton and Princess Street. So if you're going southbound, keep left to pass and use alternate routes if you're heading westbound. Here's a look outside right now. It's windy, but we're sitting at 14 degrees. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Out there. Currently, it's pretty cloudy, pretty windy at 14 degrees. Winds out of the south-southeast at 39, gusting to 50 clicks. Pressure falling. Humidity sits at 38%. Yeah, we're kind of watching and waiting the arrival of this low-pressure system. Potent and strong is how it's been described. You can see it creeping on in there to the southwest corner. With it, there's a good amount of instability afoot, and it's prompting a variety of different warnings from Environment and Climate Change Canada. Starting with a winter storm warning. This is specifically to the Churchill and surrounding areas where temperatures are cooler, making the precipitation fall as snowfall. And then areas further to the west in and around Thompson, you have a freezing rain advisory in effect because that band of freezing rain coming to you could cause some slick conditions out there with some very strong winds. Similarly, and if not more stronger, if you will, in the southwest, it's prompted some wind warnings. We're looking at gusts today in excess of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour out of the south or southwest. Those will be ramping up later this morning and lasting through the day, likely going to be sustaining decently overnight as well. Alongside that, with those already treacherous conditions, a good amount of rainfall likely, scattered, but rainfall nonetheless, and maybe some thunderstorm activity. Temperatures, though, warm for us here in Winnipeg, 24 degrees. And while these winds are looking pretty strong here for us here in Winnipeg as well, out of the south, they're even going to be ramping up even more overnight. Temperatures dipping down to 13 degrees. Likely that system will have cleared us by then, but there's still that slight chance of showers. That does linger into tomorrow, but likely we're going to get a good amount of sunshine with a high of 21 degrees, but those winds shifting out of the west still very strong. A bit of a mixed bag ahead for our May long weekend, as is tradition. 13 degrees on Saturday under that sunshine, and then we cloud over on Sunday, and then comes the rain.
Thank you, Catherine. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about the Manitoba Motorcycle Ride for Dad. And Ainsley, you're going to introduce us to someone who's raised a lot of money over the years. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, his back is terribly sore. Just been carrying the Ride for Dad team for a decade now, Ed?
18 years.
18 years. Okay, almost 2 decades. I'm totally wrong there. I know the amount, but how much money have you raised?
Since 2009, we've raised $6 million.
No, you, Ed, though. I know that you're a humble guy. You're a humble guy, but we got to know. It's a lot.
87,000.
That is wild. Where are you at now?
This year, I'm at 8,600.
How do you do that?
Well, I mean, I am kind of out there, you know, being the spokesperson and everything. And I'm very vocal about it. I'm very passionate about you know, the whole Ride for Dad thing and prostate cancer. And in 2007, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and kidney cancer. Both were detected early. I had no symptoms of either disease. They were unrelated as well. But, you know, I've got to say that 90% of prostate cancer cases that are detected early are treated successfully. And not only is that a great percentage, but it also increases the ease of your treatment if it's detected early. Cancer's like, you know, a living thing. It wants to grow, it wants to spread. So you want to catch it early. Like I said, I had no symptoms of either disease, and I'm very grateful to my doctor for finding it.
No doubt. And obviously the money's important, but so is the awareness. So to simplify for the guys watching at home, just go get checked.
Absolutely. If you're, you know, 40 plus, I was 49 when I was diagnosed, and but I've talked with guys, you know, just 40, you know, even a couple of guys in their 30s that have been diagnosed with prostate cancer. So, no, get checked. Go on a regular basis. Get that PSA test and keep it monitored.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for rolling with the punches with my sense of humor. You're the best. The message is just so important. Ride for Dad happening on the 30th.
Thank you, Ainsley. Statistics Canada is releasing new motor vehicle sales numbers for March this morning. In February, the federal government launched the Electric Vehicle Affordability Program with $5,000 battery incentives. Joining us now with more on whether these incentives are working at selling more EVs is CTV's Kamil Karamali. Good morning, Kamil.
Hey, good morning, Rochelle. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, ditto. Now, Kamil, Statistics Canada is releasing new motor vehicle sales data today. What do we know so far about the numbers?
Yeah, so this is really giving us a snapshot of the first few full month, Rochelle, of this EV rebate program being in full swing and whether it's having an effect on what type of vehicles Canadians are purchasing. Guess what? It looks like at the very least it is working, because the data for March that came out literally 15 minutes ago, so had very little time to parse through this, but it really shows that, okay, there were more than 21,000 new zero-emission vehicles or ZEVs sold in March. That is, get this, nearly a 75% increase from March of 2025. So year over year, that has increased 75%, with 21,000 ZEVs being purchased in the month of March. And new ZEVs comprised of 12% of total new vehicles sold, compared to 6.5% of March of 2025. So really the percentage, the piece of the pie of vehicles sold now becoming ZEVs has jumped up from 6% to now 12%. So doubled in 1 year. So really, Rochelle, showing in some cases how this rebate program is working likely.
And obviously the incentives are helping, but the price of fuel right now, I'm sure, is convincing Canadians that they're just tired of it as well.
Absolutely, definitely playing a role once again. This is for the month of March, so this is really when we saw the full extent of the Strait of Hormuz closing down. And really, we didn't see the effects of the fuel prices going up until late March. But we also are getting word today that Honda's electric vehicle plant is also shutting down in Canada. And that is largely because of the heavy costs of its EV strategy, as U.S. President Donald Trump's policies shift away from EVs, tariffs, the trade war, all of it playing a role in the Honda EV factory shutting down. So even though these sales are going up for EVs, Rochelle, we're seeing closures of EV plants because of these trade policies.
Okay, well, Kamil Karamali, thank you so much for joining us again today.
Anytime.
Celebrating a milestone today. Happy 5th birthday, Susie. Love Coco Fran, Papa Barry, and the rest of your family. And a happy 15th birthday to Ariella, with lots of love from your grandma, Elizabeth. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
We are finally enjoying some above seasonal values. We're looking at a high of 23 degrees today. 19 is what's typical, but well off the mark to our record set all the way back in 1931. 32.2 degrees would be nice, although as mentioned, our temperatures are going to be lovely, and they're starting off on a rather pleasant note. 14 degrees with cloudy skies, strong southeasterly winds. They'll be getting even stronger from here. Details in a moment. Barometric pressure falling, humidity sitting at 38%. Okay, so we are tracking a fairly potent low pressure system that's pushing in from the west and is expected to spread a whole host of conditions. To the north, freezing rainfall to the northwest, more like snowfall to the northeast. Strong southwesterly winds at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. That'll likely continue off and on through the day and overnight. For us here in the south, we're going to be getting likely some very disorganized, unstable rainfall, maybe some thunderstorm activity whipped in there, and then also some very, very strong winds. Environment and Climate Change Canada said they could be upwards of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour into the afternoon. They stay pretty strong overnight as well. Temperatures warm though. As mentioned, we're getting up to a high of 23 in Winnipeg.
It's a strut on the catwalk for a good cause. A nonprofit organization called the Grace and Nellie Project works to reduce poverty in rural parts of Zimbabwe by empowering and educating girls in that part of Africa. An upcoming fashion show will not only support that cause, but also highlight local African designers. And joining us now to tell us more is Abigail Gawadza from the Grace and Nellie Project. Hello, Abigail.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now tell us about this project. You've been a part of it since 2022, the Grace and Nellie Project. What is it exactly?
Okay, thank you for having me. So I joined the Grace and Nellie 2022, but it was started in 2016.
Okay.
So it's a community-driven non-profit organization that is named after our founder, Ruvimbo Chimutsa's two grandmothers, Grace and Nellie, who were just like phenomenal women, who were community-driven. They were community champions and advocates. So the Grace and Nellie supports girls and women in rural Zimbabwe. We work in a village called Mukombami Village, which is in Goromonzi. So through education, advocacy, empowerment, and providing services for sustainable projects. Girls in rural Zimbabwe also face a challenge with period poverty. So we provide reusable sanitary products for the girls to ensure that they don't miss school. Yeah,
so it really changes these girls' lives.
It does. It does. It does change their lives. They don't miss any school, which is huge because some of them, due to lack of sanitary pads, they would have to miss school.
Yeah.
It also empowers the community through the initiatives that we do, literacy and business training that we provide, as well as support for projects that are done in the community. So it's a very also empowering the community as well.
Such a great cause. And so Africa Day is coming up, and so you're celebrating by hosting a special fashion show, and a part of the proceeds will go to Zimbabwe. Tell us a little bit about what's happening this weekend.
Yeah, so not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, May 25 is Africa Day.
Yeah.
So here in Winnipeg, with the Grace and Nellie Project, we also want to ensure that we foster cultural connection and also community celebration. So grandmothers in our African culture are just so well respected. They are anchors in our community. They are wells of wisdom. So since grandmothers inspired this organization, we also are honoring them. At the same time, we are honoring the phenomenal current grandmothers we have in Winnipeg. So they are the ones who are taking to the runway in celebration.
So those are the lovely models you will be.
So they are the models. We just want to honor and celebrate them for their resilience, for their passion, just being our anchors in the community. And we love the energy and the vibrance that they bring.
Okay, so this fashion show will also feature some local designers. Tell us about what will be happening on the catwalk.
Okay, so on the catwalk, so some of who also have vendors. So African designers in Winnipeg who will showcase their products. The models will be wearing their own outfits. Some of them are made by local designers here in Winnipeg, but some were made from home. So they will do 2 outfit changes. They will have, the first one will be the traditional outfit, and then the second one will be a glam look. And some of the glam looks are still a traditional outfit. We'll also have dance, there will be music, as well as food. So it's really a celebration of the culture and really the community coming together. And it is a family event, so everyone is welcome. It's not only a ladies event. We have young girls who open the show for the grandmothers as well, and all the proceeds will go towards supporting the initiatives in Zimbabwe.
Making a real difference across the world. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us, and if you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thanks, Abigail.
Thank you for having us.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. We head to Game 4 of the QMJHL final. Moncton taking on Chicoutimi, second period. Check out Emmanuel Vermette going between the legs from below the goal line and banking it off the goalie and in for the highlight reel goal. The captain showing off his slick mitts and tight. A candidate for goal of the year, and it is your must-see moment from Wednesday. Thursday on TSN, you can see Game 1 of the Walter Cup between the Charge and Victoire. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
Here's a look at traffic on McPhillips Street. Looks like things are moving well in this part of the city. If you see any issues out there, let us know. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this. Thursday, May 14th, a Manitoba community rises again. Lac du Bonnet's road to rebuilding a year after wildfires took 2 lives and devastated area homes. Charged up about the future, Ottawa is expected to lay out details today on how it will upgrade the national power grid to meet environmental goals. And getting it right in the pocket. A popular brand and an ultra-luxury timepiece maker say their latest collab will revolutionize the way people wear watches. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Manitoba, it's 8 o'clock on your Thursday. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now at 8:45, we're going to tell you about a writing lab. It's a comedy writing lab designed specifically for Indigenous writers. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about the Rising Stars Comedy Lab. That's what it's called. And there's spots for 8 people. So we're going to tell you more about that throughout the morning. But the weather today, it's really going to be a kind of crazy day.
Yeah, not so much a comedy if we were writing the weather forecast, more a tragedy, I guess. But no, it depends what you like. I shouldn't be so negative because maybe you enjoy storm, maybe you enjoy water and rain. It can help wash away some of that kind of gross grayness from the winter, so that's a plus. Right now, though, still pretty calm with the exception of those winds. It's 14 degrees out there in Winnipeg, overcast skies. I mentioned those strong winds out of the south-southeast this hour at 39 gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling, humidity sitting at 38%. So yes, we are tracking a low pressure system that's likely to cause a good amount of instability in our area. But with it comes some warm temperatures above seasonal in most areas. Let me scooch out of the way so you can see what I'm talking about. We're starting off on warm notes in Brandon at 16, even warmer than that in Dauphin at 19 degrees. Over in Morden and Winkler, 14 degrees this hour. A little bit cooler to the north, particularly in Churchill where you're still below freezing. The rest of the region not too shabby, particularly the Paw at 12 degrees. So we have some warnings to tell you about associated with this potent low pressure system that's going to be likely causing the stormy and a bit chaotic day ahead. So first off, we have some winter storm warnings. That's specifically in and around Churchill. But then there's a freezing rain warning in areas further to the west in and around Thompson as that precipitation joins you throughout the day alongside some very strong southerly winds. And then in the southwest, wind warnings in effect because gusts could be out of the southwest at 7 70, gusting to 90 kilometers per hour. For us here, it'll also be pretty breezy. 15 degrees as kids get to school, 20 as they take lunch with that instability, rain or thunderstorms possible, and 21 as they head home. Likely, we're going to be losing that rainfall overnight. Temperatures dipping down to 13. Tomorrow, pretty warm too at 21. Your weather art of the day, drawn by Aubrey Lynn, just 10 years old. Lovely shot of the birds flying in that colorful sky. And we want you to submit your child's weather art of the day. To do so, you can visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Fill out the form because your art could be shown on Your Morning Winnipeg. It's also going to enter you into our monthly contest. You get a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Keniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
It's been 1 year since wildfires swept through the Lac du Bonnet area, causing widespread property damage and claiming the lives of a couple who attempted to escape. Now people in the area are picking up the pieces and rebuilding.
I see new hope, and I think that the rest of the way will be a little bit easier than what I did go through in this past year.
For the first time in over a year, Lavina Harding, a permanent resident on Wendigo Road, can breathe easy again. It was 1 year ago yesterday that her whole world went up in flames as she lost her house alongside her neighbors. On April 18th, she finally returned to a rebuilt home. Harding isn't the only person returning to Wendigo Road. Shane Robinson and his family have joined several neighbors determined to start anew.
So we're going to rebuild. We're just waiting for the road restrictions to finish up here. And once the road restrictions are up, we've got the guy coming to do the foundation, and then Star Building is going to be rebuilding the cottage.
While some people can rebuild, the community is forever changed. The province named this bridge in honor of Susan and Richard Noel, who died in the fires last May. The RM of Lac du Bonnet says its firefighters have now undergone extensive wildland firefighting training. The town and the RM have also completed a wildfire risk assessment to see what can be done to reduce risk. Calls continue to grow for the federal and provincial governments to find a solution after what's being called an historic court decision in Manitoba. Chief Justice Glenn Joyal found both levels of government breached First Nations child welfare rights. The class action challenge was launched by several First Nations and the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs, seeking more than $2 billion in damages for First Nations harmed by the apprehension of kids by Child and Family Services agencies. Both levels of government now have 30 days to appeal the decision. But the Chiefs Assembly is urging them to instead work together to find a solution and to build a better system. The Prime Minister is expected to make a major energy announcement today. The federal government's long-delayed clean electricity strategy is expected to be laid out by Mark Carney. The plan is to double Canada's grid capacity by 2050, something sources say would be the biggest build-out of the national grid in this country's history. It's expected to lower total energy costs for 70% of Canadian households over the next 25 years and create nearly 30,000 new jobs by the end of 2028. A retired RCMP officer accused of working for China has been found not guilty of foreign interference.
It's been almost 3 years, so devastating for families.
William Miker was accused of planning to coerce a Vancouver millionaire to return to China as part of Beijing's Fox Hunt program. A BC judge ruled the Crown could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Miker committed any of the alleged acts. Miker now has his passport back. He says he will start rebuilding his life in Hong Kong, where he started an advising company. Officials from the U.S. and China this morning say they agree the Strait of Hormuz must stay open. That appears to be the case for China, at least. Iranian media is reporting some ships from China are being allowed to pass through the strait. Iran and China are said to have an understanding over management protocols. Tracking from yesterday does show a Chinese oil tanker exiting the strait, as some Chinese vessels are granted passage. The UK military is reporting a ship anchored near the strait has been seized. It's now heading toward Iranian waters. It's an exciting week for watch lovers with what some are calling the biggest watch news of the year. This is the Royal Pop, a collab between the popular brand Swatch and luxury watchmaker AP. They released the look ahead of its official availability date, which will be Saturday. Many people have already started lining up outside of select Swatch stores to buy one. As you can see, these aren't wrist watches, they're pocket watches. Swatch and AP say this watch will change the way people wear watches, breaking free from the wrist. Here's a look at what's happening outside now on the St. James Bridge. Things are moving well here, as you can see, in this part of the city. If you encounter any problems out there, please send us a text when it's safe and legal to do so.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Keep the kids creative with this Your Morning Winnipeg contest. Crockadoodle Keniston is holding some kids' summer art classes, and the activities include painting ice cream gnomes, turtles, watermelons, and tropical geckos. This week, we're giving away one prize pack with a selection of 4 classes from June 23rd to July the 7th. There will be pizza for lunch, games, and a lot of fun. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword paint. Good luck. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about the Manitoba Motorcycle Ride for Dad, which is coming up real soon. It's important to talk about men's health, especially when it comes to prostate cancer. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. Yes, 1 in 9 Canadian men diagnosed with prostate cancer. Tough stats to hear, but it's good to know that Manitobans are rallying around it. Co-chairs for Ride for Dad are joining me, Mo and Kirk. Thank you guys so much for being here today, and every single year too. A lot goes into this, Mo. What does that look like from your standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much that goes into this. It's not, and a lot of people will probably be mad at me, but it's not necessarily about motorcycles. It is the community that's coming together to raise an incredible amount of money for such a good cause. And, you know, between sponsors and partners and volunteers and the riders, the response is just overwhelming. We are so excited that Princess Auto is our national sponsor this year, because without those sponsors, similar, the Winnipeg Police Credit Union, Play Now, Winnipeg Police Association, they're all sponsors, and that allows us to put more money towards the cause. And I am so proud to be able to say that 100% of the donations from last year are going towards prostate cancer research and education that gets spent right here in Manitoba.
So great to hear. And I think the saying is many hands make for great work, and you guys have done great work. That doesn't happen without volunteers. Do you have a message to them?
Definitely. Like Mo said, it's community. We have hundreds of volunteers. We got a core executive group that works all year long, which is all the people you've seen today. And without all those people, we could not even come close to success in the lab and research and awareness.
And I'm sure there's dozens of people at home watching going, hey, that's me. A big shout out to you guys. When it comes to those dollars, where are we at now?
I think we're just a little over 255,000 online. We're probably about 80,000 ahead of last year, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to break our goal of $750,000 this year again.
Wow. Okay. By 20 years, they got to hit $1 million, and I'm sure they will hit $1 million. Thank you again to the volunteers and the sponsors and everyone who makes this happen.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution.
Anyone out there looking to take a motorcycle ride today, I'd get it in earlier than later because we could be in store for some treacherous weather to come. Currently, though, calm, 15 degrees, overcast. Calm, though, relative, considering these winds pretty fast and furious out of the southeast at 37, gusting at times to 52 kilometers per hour. Pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 37%. Yes, relative calmness, because we're in store for some pretty inclement weather. Care of this approaching low pressure system, kind of hard to ignore there on the southwest corner of our province, bringing with it a whole host of conditions and prompting some weather warnings, a host of them as well. In the north, it's looking like some winter storm warnings in effect in and around Churchill area, and then further to the west, freezing rain warnings, because as that system spreads through your regions, spreading around that freezing rain, turning into snowfall as the temperatures dip. Very strong southerly winds at 50, gusting at times to 70 kilometers per hour. Likely stronger wind gusts ahead for southern Manitoba and much of the Red River Valley, and there's already a wind warning in effect in the southwest. Southwesterly gusts expected at 70, gusting at times to 90 kilometers per hour. Yes, you heard the right 90, lightly ramping up later this morning, lasting through the afternoon. For us here in Winnipeg, also very breezy, warm at 24 degrees, but with those strong winds comes likely some rain, some thunderstorm activity. Could last overnight, likely it's tapering off. The wind staying strong, temperatures dipping down to 13. And tomorrow, still slight chance of some instability, but likely warm and sunny, 21 degrees. A little bit of everything ahead for the May-long weekend, as is tradition. 13 on Saturday under the sunshine, and the rain rolls in on Sunday.
Honda is reporting its first ever annual loss since becoming a publicly traded company in Japan nearly 7 decades ago, as the costly retreat from its ambitious electric vehicle targets plunged earnings into the red. The automaker reported a net loss of $2.7 billion for the fiscal year. Canadian Tire is reporting its first quarter profit rose compared with a year ago, as its revenue also climbed higher but missed analysts' estimates. The retailer reported net income of $129.5 million, or $2.02 per diluted share for the quarter ending April 4th. The federal government is pushing to get Canadian companies on major Chinese e-commerce platforms as the two countries deepen their ties. International Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu told the Canadian press in a recent interview that China's e-commerce titans Alibaba and JD.com want more Canadian businesses on their platform. Sidhu says the push is happening now because the relationship is where it's at. And Canada's housing market remains sluggish, with sales of existing homes picking up slightly last month, even as prices dipped. National home sales, resales that is, were up 0.7% in April from the month before, after slipping 0.1% a month earlier. The Canadian Real Estate Association reporting that on Thursday. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
We are going to will the warmer weather to come our way. I know as soon as it gets nice, the backyard is the only place that I want to be. We're turning to designer today, Tamara Robbins-Griffith, joining us. Tamara, good to see you. It looks sunny where you're at.
It is sunny. It was quite chilly this morning, but it's starting to warm up a little bit. And, you know, that warmer weather is just around the corner. I always want to make sure we can make the most of our outdoor season in Canada, both for my family and our clients.
Okay, so let's then talk about ways that we can make that outdoor sanctuary, because we know summers are short. We want to make the most of them, and a beautiful space is one of the ways to do it.
Absolutely, and the long weekend's just around the corner. So everything I have with me today is from Walmart, which means you can update your outdoor space with pieces that are affordable and on trend. And I think the first question we ask is if space allows for both outdoor dining and lounging. If yes, that's great. Lots of room to play around with. If not, we get creative. And if there isn't space for a big dining table outside, a lot of our clients are happy with a more casual and relaxed, entertaining setup where you can use lounge chairs or an outdoor sofa like I'm sitting on, with an assortment of side tables and a coffee table. And you can still have snacks and even casual meals set up buffet style. I love this 5-piece set. I think it's great. It's very flexible because it's totally modular. I don't have the ottoman attached, but it has clips so you can obviously move it around.
Yeah.
And, you know, that kind of gives flexibility. And I think there's no reason you can't kind of put on the barbecue and let people, you know, collect plates of food and just relax.
Exactly. The backyard isn't supposed to be the formal space anyway.
Right.
So a little bit of like lounge pieces, and you've still got that table surface, right?
Yeah, it kind of gives flexibility.
Exactly. Let's talk about trends, and maybe for people that like to stay on top of them. What's 2026 about?
Well, I'm sure you'll see everywhere you go, like palm prints are still popping up on everything, from outdoor rugs and cushions to even like a very subtle print on this wooden serve board. But we're seeing some other trends come through in the outdoor decor that are big in interior design as well. So we've seen a lot of curves in furniture and design. I'm obsessed with this pillow. I love the scalloped detail. And then it's a 2-for-1 as well. It's like double-sided, so you can like 2 cushions in one. And I think that's a little bit more traditional decorating being infused into design right now, for a sense of adding personality and also maybe a nostalgia factor. But I like pairing it with a modern sofa. And I also think when it comes to those trendy pieces or patterns or colors, even in like serveware or accessories.
I love
It's
it.
like you kind of anchor with your foundational pieces that are classic and timeless, and then bring in fun trends in the accessories.
Perfect. And we don't want to run out of time, but we can't forget the kids. What about some fun things for them?
Well, this is the perfect time of year to get your kids off of screens and into some other outdoor activities, because everyone's excited about warmer days being outside. My kids are getting older. They're kind of past toys, but definitely into like lawn games. And that's something fun for the whole family, or distract the kids with lawn games and then the adults can relax and have drinks. I do really like this 4-game combo set, because it's kind of like all in one. You get a net, and then you have rackets, so you can go between badminton, volleyball, frisbee with a net, and it's kind of fun for the whole family. And everything I brought with me can be found in store or online at walmart.ca. Stock up on your pool floaties now too.
Yes, of course.
If you have a pool or a lake, it's just good to shop early before things get sold out. Now is kind of like May best selection.
And if you do your shopping now, we will that warmer weather to come. It's all about manifesting, right?
Totally.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. These are all such great ideas.
Thank you so much for having me.
Terry's manifestation worked. It's lovely, warm, sunny, but very breezy. I should have asked her to be more specific. Southeasterly winds at 37, gusting at times to 52 kilometers per hour, 15 degrees with the mercury warming up much further. Barometric pressure falling, humidity sitting at 37%. So yes, while we manifested maybe some warm weather, potentially we're also manifesting a stormy day ahead. There's a low pressure system approaching that's likely to spread a myriad of conditions. In the north, likely some freezing rain or some snowfall, depending on how cold your temperatures are, off and on throughout the day. Some strong southwesterly winds at 50, gusting at times to 70 kilometers per hour. Temperatures there decent in the mid-teens. For us here in the south, likely we'll get some intermittent showers and maybe some thunderstorm activity wrapped in there. Winds, though, even stronger down here out of the southwest at 70, gusting at times to 90 kilometers per hour. And while the rainfall, the thunderstorm activity likely to taper off overnight, the winds expected to stay pretty strong. Temperatures, though, warm. That's the good news. 24 degrees is our high in Winnipeg, when 20 is what's typical, so we'll take it. These adorable little chicks, just make for an adorable weather photo taken by Leonora. Thanks for sending them in, and keep your weather pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Good morning. Local Jewish communities will benefit from upgrades to a federal program meant to improve safety and security. That's according to the head of the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs.
A charitable organization that is focused on social programs or education programs that doesn't have to dedicate its time and resources to security considerations. A school shouldn't have to become an expert in security. It should be focused on educating children. And that's the fundamental principle that underlines this.
That's Noah Shack discussing a $75 million boost to Ottawa's Canada Community Security Program. The fund offers 70% of costs, up to $1.5 million, to groups at risk of hate-motivated crimes to offset the cost of security equipment, security services, or training. In its spring economic update, the federal government also updated the application requirements in hopes of making the process more efficient.
This is a fundamental first step to protect facilities, but we need to move forward in partnership with government to address the root causes of what's fueling this radicalization, the harassment, hate, and intimidation that has really skyrocketed over the last 3 years.
The program is accepting applications now. There's no deadline to apply, but it's done on a first-come, first-served basis. You can find out more by visiting publicsafety.gc.ca. They've been around the moon, and Wednesday they touched down in Ottawa. The crew of Artemis II, including Canada's own Jeremy Hansen, met the Prime Minister. And with more on their down-to-earth visit to our nation's capital, here's CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver.
It was a different kind of moon mission in Ottawa today.
I think we saw that crater.
The Artemis II crew giving Prime Minister Mark Carney and a group of students special insight into their epic 10-day lunar flyby mission.
The moment they walk in, my heart starts pounding. I'm like, oh my God, they're actually here.
It was just so cool to meet someone like that inspiring.
It was such a privilege. Like, I never thought ever that I'd ever be able to meet them.
Splashdown confirmed.
The visit to the capital comes just over 1 month after the 4-person crew splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean.
We surpassed the furthest distance humans have ever traveled.
Following a groundbreaking mission to the far side of the moon that captured the world's attention. Canadian Jeremy Hansen getting a special thank you from Carney.
This is the flag that flew on the day you splashed down.
Oh, wow.
Hansen's trip into outer space was his first, and it was also the furthest any Canadian astronaut has ever traveled.
Canada very much went to space, and I rode on your shoulders.
That Canadian pride on full display at each stop in the capital, where fans, young and old, were inspired to reach new heights.
I want to be the first man, and if it's possible, to walk on Mars.
Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
The Canadian Armed Forces is honoring the long service of one of its aircraft. Around 3 this afternoon, a Hercules and 2 fighter jets will conduct a flyby of 1 Canadian Air Division headquarters at 17 Wing. It's to mark the end of the CC-130H's air-to-air refueling mission. The refueling operations ceased last month, but the Hercules will continue to help in search and rescue and transport missions. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is prize. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter prize with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Tune in tomorrow for another code word. Good luck.
Bit of a great start to your Thursday out there in Winnipeg. It's 15 degrees, overcast, strong southeasterly winds at 37, gusting at times to 52 clicks, pressure falling, humidity at 37%. Yeah, we're in store for a very warm day, however, potentially a pretty stormy one at that. You can see the culprit here, hard to ignore there on our future cast, or on our radar rather. This low pressure system that's already pushing in to the southwest is likely to bring a host of conditions. So it has prompted a winter storm warning in areas in and around Churchill and a freezing rain warning in Thompson. That's likely to continue today and overnight. And then for us in the south, we too will have a bit of a soggy day ahead with some very strong winds. It's prompted some wind warnings all throughout this yellow region here. Southwesterly gusts could be about 70, in excess of 90 kilometers per hour by Environment and Climate Change Canada's estimation. So not great. But of course, it is going to be also breezy in the northeast, where temperatures at least are in and around seasonal. 12 degrees with that rainfall and maybe that snowfall as well mixed in. 10 degrees in Gillam, cooler in Churchill at -1. Downright balmy in Island Lake at 16. Over to the northwest, also likely a stormy day ahead. Strong southwesterly winds, temperatures decent, in some cases above seasonal. 16 in Opaskwayak Cree Nation and the Paw, 14 in Flin Flon. The areas with those very strong winds in southwest, hot temperatures, 27 degrees in Dauphin, 25 in Swan River. We too are going to likely see some rainfall, thunderstorm activity, strong winds, temperatures above seasonal in and around the 24-degree mark. Northwestern Ontario, also a bit of an unstable day ahead with some thunderstorm activity, temperatures in the low 20s. Overnight, likely we'll lose the rainfall and thunderstorm activity, keep the strong winds, temperatures dipping down to 13. And then to tomorrow, while we have a slight chance of some rainfall, likely we're going to stay dry and sunny with a high of 21.
Thank you, Catherine. The City of Winnipeg is warning residents to be extra careful with fire and to take more precautions as we head into the long weekend. In a news release, the city says we're at elevated risk for wildland and grass fires due to dry conditions and expected high winds. Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service says fires can't be started even with a permit if winds or gusts are higher than 25 kilometers per hour. That also includes fires even in an approved fire pit. You're also reminded to dispose of smoking materials safely, to educate children on the dangers of starting fires, and to call 911 immediately if you see a fire. Families and community members are hitting the streets to raise awareness of the violence, loss, and systemic injustices experienced by Indigenous boys and men.
Like, I would like to find my boy.
bring him home.
Kelly Lavallee joined other families for the second annual Walk to Honor Missing and Murdered Indigenous Men and Boys. Her son Dwayne disappeared from Ebb and Flow First Nation. Organizers say the goal of the walk is to highlight the disproportionate rates of violence, incarceration, and disappearance they say are too often silenced or overlooked. A 24-year-old man is facing a lengthy list of drug and weapon-related charges following a bust at a Central Park apartment. Winnipeg police began investigating drug trafficking in the area earlier this month. Last week, officers searched an apartment on Cumberland Avenue. They found 21 loaded restricted handguns, a silencer, a mixture of ammunition, 27 grams of cocaine, and around $25,000 in cash. The man faces dozens of weapons and drug charges. He was detained in custody. If you've noticed contractors in your neighborhood offering to do paving, landscaping, and roofing jobs this spring, experts are urging consumers to be careful with companies going door to door. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
These are all the bricks that they ripped out from there.
It was 1 month ago when someone came to Heidi April's door in Pickering. They told her they were doing other jobs on her street and could clean up her stonework, pressure wash her driveway, and seal it to give it a fresh new look. She signed a contract and they started removing her interlocking stones. They asked for $3,000 in advance, and when they got that, they never came back.
So when's the last time you heard from them?
Well, when I gave him the money.
April says it was her late husband who did the stonework, and she feels she was caught at a weak moment, wanting it to look its best.
I will never, ever do anything like that, pay anybody anything ahead of time, and especially not door to door.
April signed the contract with Compact Masonry and Roofing. We emailed them and called them several times.
You took $3,000 from her to do some work, and she says that you took the money and didn't come back.
They never got back to us, and when we went to the address listed on their brochure and contract, there was no sign they were there.
So if anyone is showing up at your door, knocking on your door and saying, hey, we can do this work, we can pull up your pavers and make them look real nice and put them back down, and we need cash on the spot, those aren't professional landscape contractors, those are con artists.
Landscape Ontario is a nonprofit trade association representing those in the landscape industry. While companies may drop off brochures at your door, they won't demand cash in advance. The group recommends getting 3 quotes and searching for vetted contractors through their website.
We confirm that the company has WSIB coverage and that they have general liability coverage. Right? And we can see how much training that they've been through.
April will now have to pay someone else to repair the damage done. She says this time she'll go with someone suggested by a friend who has a good reputation.
I found somebody who's going to come later today, and he's going to fix it all up.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Here's a look at what's happening in traffic now on St. Mary's Road. You can see that camera bouncing around. It's windy out there, and overall things are moving quite well in this part of the city. Let's look at your gas prices now. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.82, higher than it was yesterday. The lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.46, found at 3 gas stations. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. Today is National Buttermilk Biscuit Day, so we asked, what's your favorite biscuit or cookie? Susan says shortbread, best cookie out there. For Amber, Imperial cookies are the best. Chrissy's favorite cookie is Wortman Blueberry. April likes warm scones with butter. Kathy's favorite cookie is peanut butter with raisins. Crystal likes Biscoff, the airplane cookie, most popular for her baking as well. Marlene likes cheese tea biscuits, coconut raisin, and oatmeal cookies. For Tina, it's Bannock. Felicity loves Omas and chocolate chip cookies, and Phoebe loves macadamia nut cookies. Shortbread and peanut butter cookies, says Debbie. For today's, her sister Clémence's gingerbread cookies were always her favorite. Bev's shared favorite biscuit is cheese biscuit, and favorite cookie is chocolate chip oatmeal. Conrad likes keto cheddar sausage biscuits. Bannock biscuit for Paul, and Cheryl says, I have never met a homemade cookie that I do not like unless it has raisins in it. Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you to all of you for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
The Manitoba Motorcycle Ride for Dad is coming soon, and that is where our Ainsley McPhail is live this morning telling us all about it and how we can get signed up. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I got to cut you off there, though. Cheese biscuit cookie. I've never heard of that in my life. Someone's going to have to put me on that. Adam Bighill is joining me now, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber. Everybody loves him. What's your favorite cookie, Adam?
Pretty simple, chocolate chip, semi-sweet. I don't know if you're familiar with crumble. We're bringing a couple in the city, and it's a basic and it's a big hitter for me.
Nice. All the hard-hitting questions over here. Of course, we're talking about Ride for Dad. Why did you want to take part again?
Well, I've been doing this now going on 6 years, and the momentum has continually been going forward. The amount of success for raising awareness and funds for fighting cancer has been incredible. And listen, I'm a dad. I had a dad. Everyone, we all have men in our life that mean a lot to us. So if there's ways that we can support them, this is a big one.
And day of, it's happening on the 30th, kickoff at 10 a.m. with a police escort. It's pretty awesome. What's it like day of? Share with us the energy.
I think I was sharing with you, the rumble is real. It is, it's loud. It's an amazing experience to be there, hearing all the bikes start up at the same time. It's packed. There's nowhere to stand, really, shoulder to shoulder, bumping through people, and people are excited, and people have a ton of fun. So it's great to see everyone kind of coming together for a cause, and really what this event looks like is a massive coordinated event of people that are doing it for all the right reasons.
You're truly entrenched in the Manitoba community, and again, have been for quite some time now. Does this speak to that, just seeing how much money's been raised over the years?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to use my platform to do everything I can to support this community in the city, and this is home, obviously, for us who just retired. And everything I can do to kind of push positive initiatives forward is what I'm all about. And this is just such a major, easy one that I love to be involved with. Great people associated here with Ride for Dad that run the show and just do such a great job of putting this stuff together, and it's evidenced by how many people support.
Thank you so much. Just very sweet, like a cookie. Like a cookie. Support Ride for Dad. We got to get them to $1 million. How about that?
Absolutely, yes. And I've heard that rumble when they take off. It's pretty spectacular. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now with our Catherine. It's going to be windy and stormy today.
Absolutely, yes. We are in store for a bit of an unstable Thursday ahead. The good news is if you've been missing the warmer spring-like temperatures, they will not be in short supply today. It's 15 degrees currently, overcast skies with some breezy winds out of the southeast at 37, gusting at times to 52 kilometers per hour. Pressure is falling, humidity sits at 37%. So an approaching low pressure system is likely going to be shaking things up a bit here in the province. Sorry, those sirens are making it hard to concentrate. It'll spread out throughout the province in different forms. So in the north, freezing rain likely in the northwest, maybe more in the form of snowfall to the northeast with very strong southerly winds and temperatures in the mid-teens. For us here in the south, even stronger winds. There are wind warnings in effect in Brandon and the surrounding areas. Environment and Climate Change Canada warns you could get gusts from 70 to even 90 kilometers per hour lasting throughout the day. Temperatures warm, peaking in the mid-20 degree mark, but rainfall thunderstorms a bit disorganized but expected off and on throughout the day. That should taper off overnight, but those winds are likely to stay strong not only tonight but into tomorrow as well. Let's take a break, shall we? Pay a couple bills. Stay with us. We've got so much more Your Morning Winnipeg on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Good morning. Canadian scientists have just found a new missing piece in the puzzle of how autism works based on a study involving thousands of families. CTV's Pauline Chan on what the findings could mean for early diagnosis and personalized care.
Scientists have known for decades that there was a genetic link to autism spectrum disorder.
Our previous studies looked at the protein coding genes of the genome,
And now our novel discovery here actually found a long non-coding RNA.
It's found on the X chromosome, and it's associated with autism in males who carried small deletions in the gene.
We think about perhaps this new molecule we've identified is more of a dimmer switch.
And it's connected with what are the core behavioral traits associated with autism: difficulties with socializing, communicating, and repetitive behaviors.
Professor Shearer says the key to their discovery has been their ability to do whole genome sequencing for thousands of people.
Susan Cosgrove has 3 children, all on the spectrum. She says she's always believed in a genetic link, but this finding could be key in earlier and more reliable diagnosis.
It's still somebody's interpretation of your child's behavior, your child's features. If this was able to be diagnosed through a blood test, right, we wouldn't have to do that wait.
Now that we have cellular pathways identified, we can think about precision therapeutics for perhaps all people who have a diagnosis of autism. And that's why this is really a novel finding.
Newer technology is helping this type of research examine regions of the genome it could never study before. The researchers have been able to transfer these genetic alterations to mouse models to work towards someday developing targeted therapies for specific autism-related genes. Pauline Chan, CTV News, Toronto.
If you're a First Nations writer and you want to learn how to write comedy for TV, a brand new 6-month program has just been created here to help. It's called the Rising Stars Comedy Lab, and it's put on by Misco Way Productions and Indigenous Screen Office. And joining us now to tell us more about this new comedy writing lab is Debbie Corshane, the founder of Misco Way Productions. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, writing comedy could be difficult, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Why is it so hard?
It's learning about the formats and just playing, you know. It takes a lot of effort to learn how to play and just get your mind back into a world where you can find out where your funny bone stands, you know.
And what's funny to you might not necessarily be funny to others. So how do you share those kinds of skills with others?
It's a lot of collaborative work. So comedy usually is done in pairs. You usually have a comedy buddy that you sit down with and you write and giggle, and you find out what's the funniest thing by, just talking with your friends. And so we found the best format for that, and we built these collaborative groups that we can come together as Indigenous people, that we can sit in together and just find out the things that make us laugh. And so this project is a mix of that. So we'll bring people into a writer's room and train them on the fundamentals of script writing, as well as giving them opportunity to work with one another to find out what's actually funny to Indigenous people for our own communities.
Absolutely. Now, is there a shortage of Indigenous comedy writers right now?
Yeah, that's absolutely where this project came from. Amber Sakoan Daniels and I ran into each other at Imaginative Film Festival just last year, and we were talking about the landscape of comedy writers and the amount of Indigenous writers in those writing rooms. And she was experiencing significant lack of Indigenous writers in those rooms. And so she was interested in seeing more coming up, and we've provided training for Indigenous comedians for the past 10 years. And so we brought both of our skill sets together to put on this workshop with the support of the Indigenous Screen Office. So we're really excited to move this forward.
Okay, so tell us how this program works exactly. What is it all about?
So we'll have one weekend intensive in Winnipeg where we'll all come together and learn the fundamentals of script writing with Megan McKay, a funny Indigenous Lenape comedian and writer. And then we'll be doing a online Zoom workshop where we'll all be in the writer's room, building out and fleshing out a full series. And then each of the members will take an episode, go off, write a script, and then come back for one-on-one mentorship so they can learn how to apply their skills and get the feedback that they need to actually improve their skills so that they can present and have a portfolio, a professional portfolio that they could put forward to apply for work in the future.
That's very exciting. Now, you do have 8 spots available in this lab. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so what are your long-term goals at the end of the day? When this is all said and done, what are you hoping to see happen?
Well, first of all, we're hoping to platform more Indigenous comedian writers so that we can get more people placed in writing rooms and have actual work positions. We want to strengthen their skills and their ability and confidence so that when they walk into the room, they're not worried about fitting in. They're more worried about coming up with the best ideas and adding into the room rather than trying to understand language or lingo. So we're trying to create a little step up so that they have the confidence in their abilities to do that. And we want to increase the number of pitches for comedic TV shows in the coming years. So we want people to come with original ideas that they want to work out and work with community and mentors to flesh out ideas to make it possible for more new TV shows to come out.
Well, if you want more information on the Rising Stars Comedy Lab, we have a link on our website for more information. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing this with us, and good luck finding those people.
The weather is not exactly inspiring chuckles today because we're in store for some inclement weather, although this is cheering up my mood. These nice warm temperatures at 15 degrees. They're accompanied by some pretty strong southeasterly winds, pressure falling, humidity sitting at 37%. So yes, an approaching low pressure system taking up a good amount of our radar here is likely to bring a lot of variety of conditions, if you will. It's prompted some winter storm warnings in areas in and around Churchill and some freezing rain warnings further to the west in areas in and around Thompson, the Paw. And then to the southwest, wind warnings with those southwesterly gusts expected to reach anywhere from 70 to 90 kilometers per hour throughout the day. Of course, along with it, rainfall, thunderstorm activity, very good chance of that happening in Winnipeg off and on throughout the day. A high, though, above seasonal at 24 degrees. We have a slight chance of that activity hanging on overnight. Likely it's going to taper off. The winds staying pretty strong, though. Temperatures dipping down to 13. Tomorrow, another hot one with lots of sunshine.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Catherine, before we say goodbye, we're going to send people off with these fun video. There are many fad diets out there for different age groups and weight groups, but this one is very popular with parents.
Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car.
It's called Toddler's Tapas, and as his dad shows us, it consists of his son's leftovers from the bottom of a muffin to a half banana to the crust of his tots sandwich. Unfortunately, it's not a choice, it's a lifestyle. Yep, you just do what you gotta do. And bunnies are known to be small and cute, and then there's this guy.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh, is it real? That's a big bunny. Azur is a one-year-old Flemish giant rabbit, the largest breed of domestic rabbits out there. This gentle giant is expected to get up to 50 pounds and stretch over 4 feet.
I don't want that
to
be that big, but I want to cuddle that one.
Yes.
Yeah, so sweet.
And then finally, a fabulous performance by a feisty feline. This one-man cat concert was inspired by the birds outside. Dusty the ginger sits on his perch and chirps at his feathered friends every morning. His owner decided to take his kitty's songs and set it to opera music, and this is the finished masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece.
Gotta love it. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.